the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat, I say sleep later. This another favor, consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air, fantasy a dream, real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless, learn to live shameless. Talk about me alive, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless, so I'ma style on them. They washed up, it's a rap, throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them, otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue, get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah, about time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a minor, but made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather. Be weather, be tripping, starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this bad at board games. Whole world clueless, selling they soul for Roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a sliced extra mozzarella. Crew fly, leg guy propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge the teller? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame? Ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do? Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. Ask what up? Vibe with the. Wise grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple lies. You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver. Dream weaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. Got the homie Carter presents. Welcome to episode 229 of the Blerd Cave, the #1 comic book news stream on this or any other Earth in the multiverse. Everyone, don't forget, you can also find us on Spotify. You can find us on Google, Apple. You can find us on Potato, Timbuktu, anywhere good podcasts may be found. And yeah, Carter, how you doing today? How you doing today, my guy?
I'm here, man.
Well, I mean, you've survived. You've survived what was very nearly the greatest of incursions ever to happen in our timeline. So I feel like you're doing pretty good. I feel like you're doing all right.
I didn't know there was an incursion. What the fuck did I miss?
See, that's what happens with incursions. You never know. Like you look up in the sky, you see like big blue lights and aliens flying out of it, and next thing you know, it's gone, and you start wondering if you're taking crazy pills. But no. So that said, welcome everyone. We got what I feel is a pretty jam-packed show for y'all today. I do have a couple of things that I want to bring them up at the start. I was actually thinking about bringing them up at the end. One of them I'll probably bring up twice. I'm actually going to bring it up now just to kind of let y'all know what's going to be going on. And then later I will bring it up again for those who probably came in late and did not scroll back. Because I know that some people come in late to the stream and just kind of ride with us as we're going. They don't roll back. So I want to, I'm going to put it in a couple of places just for transparency's sake. So I have talked about this. If you are a patron or channel member, you probably heard me talk about this on the recent members only Patreon exclusive videos that I've recently discovered some folks have tried to finesse out of Carter. Which lets me know I'm doing something right. So there you go. Maybe we'll look into something for those people later, at a later date. However, right now, a lot of y'all know I am a huge fan of doing charity work, especially when when I get to do something I was already going to do anyway, which I guess technically kind of makes me lazy at the same time. But yeah, we're not here to talk. Mind your business. We ain't talking about that. What we're talking about is my homies over there on the Nerd 901 side of things, because we're based out of Memphis, the 901. Y'all know what time it is. Don't make me play the Memphis clip, because I will do it.
Oh.
Nothing but Memphis. But no, we have a charity stream today that actually starts right now. I'm not there, and it's not something we're doing like in tandem. Like right this second, right this now. But no, we are gonna, look, Gabriel Knight just out here, and I already see Levesta the Samurai already out here. Trust me, I'm gonna get to y'all here in just a moment, but I want to say this before I forget. But we are going to, when I say we, I say Nerd 901. I'm not rolling Carter into this, because, well, technically it would be impossible, because this is the in-person one. I'm
in Los Angeles. That's why.
It is dumb impossible for him. He is not going to be able to be present for this. But after the stream is over, I'm going to be taking myself to an undisclosed location where we are going to be streaming for 12 hours. By the time I get there, they will already have been streaming for at least 3 or maybe 4. But we're going to be playing stuff like Elden Ring. We're going to be playing Mario Party and Mario Kart. We're going to be playing Spider Heck, Ultimate Chicken Horse. Lots of like games that we can kind of play like in the same room with one another. I know Elden Ring probably seems like the weirdest one out of that bunch, but we have a system. Just don't worry about it. But yes, we are going to be doing that, and it's all going to be to the benefit of Le Bonheur Children's Hospital. And some of you have been with the channel for a while. Y'all already kind of know the vibes. Y'all know how this works, but we're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. You donate, any amount of money is appreciated. All this goes to the benefit of Le Bonheur's Children's Hospital to help the children that are there and their families be able to take care of these kids and help them get past all kinds of, I would say, unnecessary things for children to have to deal with at that age. But you can donate certain amounts. You can donate $5, and we'll one of us, and you can even designate a person. I'll even participate in this when I'm there, but I'll eat one of those nasty beans that could taste like barf or taste like dead fish, or it could taste like bubblegum. I don't know. We'll do, we $15, we'll do 10 push-ups or squats. That we have a wheel of pain or fun that has all kinds of crazy stuff on it. They're one of the ones, some of the rest of them are more specific to other people, but the one that is specific to me, and I'm only doing this for up to 10 people, but if you donate $100, I will draw you something awesome, of your choice, as long as it's not problematic. I feel like I have to add that in there. If it's something problematic, I will not draw it. I will appreciate your money, and your donation to Le Bonheur, but I will have to tell you to rethink whatever that is. And to give you guys an idea, for those wondering why it would matter, so a lot of people I've noticed didn't realize that I actually did art. So just to kind of give you an idea of what it is you could potentially be getting. So I think I showed this off the other day. I'm gonna give myself the main cam just for a moment here, Carter. So the other day I did this. Here, I'm gonna pull this back just a little bit. So this is actually, ignore the notes that are underneath. That's for something else. But yeah, so you have stuff like this. I draw all kinds of random stuff. Some of you have been keeping up for a while. I also draw my, I'm also drawing my own comic. The other day, I did this little, little beauty. So there you go. So I'll hook you up with something. You'll get something which by my estimation would be something pretty awesome. So
keep the camera on you. 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 I got a question.
Go ahead, shoot.
If you get that money, and this is for Extra Life, and this is for St. Jude, and this is for the babies, this is for the children, and somebody says, you know what, Boy Without Fear, you know what I want you to draw for me? I want you to draw ice on.
Oh God. Well, you know what? I tell you what, I would do it.
Okay.
I would do it, but here's the thing. That motherfucker would look infinitely better than he ever has in his own comic. Oh, God. Hell, that motherfucker would look infinitely better.
And I don't know if we said this at the start because my memory is awful, but happy Veterans Day, people. Yes, happy Veterans Day. Yes. You are the reason I got a 3-day weekend. Happy Veterans Day, everybody.
this motherfucker. Oh my God. Anyway.
Thank you for your service.
This dude, he's like, yeah, man, y'all hooking me up. Oh, but yeah, the shade is real. The shade is real. But yeah, I draw Savage Dragon. See, you see, you know what? I'm not gonna do it to you. I'm not gonna do it to you. Because you know what? My Savage Dragon would look better than Eric Larson's. I'm joking.
You do realize when you bring up Savage Dragon, do y'all see Hideo Noshi's name in this chat? No, because he is in the hole. He gone. I take no prisoners in doing this.
He's like,
I need you to understand.
he's like, how fucking dare you? How fucking dare you bring up Savage Dragon? Oh. No. But yes, I would draw Daredevil. I will draw Moon Knight. I mean, there are, like I said, outside, as long as it is nothing that's like hateful or like problematic or whatever, I'll draw it. I mean, and you know what? I'll even just to kind of give you guys a taste of some of the. I can't show all of this because
I don't like that you keep leaning over to the side. We get it because you're doing it on purpose. You just want everybody to see all the fucking Ninja Turtle hardcovers you just bought because keep moving over.
Oh yeah.
To get a good shot of them.
Here, hold on. No. I gotta let y'all see it. Y'all see these over here? Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Lord. Look at all them katana handles. look at all them katana handles up there. Man, look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I can show this because technically it's not it is a naked woman, but she's not like showing anything, if that makes any sense. Like she's naked but not at the same time. But like just to give you an idea of the things I do in my spare time. So yes, I do I'll like some of you nasty Dynamite comics cosplay variant covers motherfuckers. If y'all want some problematic Red Sonja or some problematic Vampirella, I mean I'll fucks with you.
For all the Tim Seeleys in the chat right now. And I'm gonna leave it there. Ain't gonna say nothing else.
Yeah, don't say nothing. Look, because I'm gonna find out later. I'm gonna get a DM from Tim Seeley. He'll be like, "Y'all was talking shit, huh?" Because I already know Mike Norton's on game, so I don't want to make it hot.
I didn't tell you.
What?
He was over there again.
This man. See, look at now. Let's stop right here because I don't want to make it hot. I don't want to make it hot. Someone said Night Thrasher. You know what? Since Night Thrasher has a comic coming out again for the first time in 5 ever, I would do it. But like I said, these are all things like if y'all want to get in on this, like I said, go to because like I said, I think they're getting started now. I'm gonna put the link. In the in the chat, and you guys can do with that information what you will. But here, I'm gonna pull it back up once again. Like I said, for those, it won't really matter to you who are on your phone, but like for those who are like watching on TV or on a computer monitor, there is a QR code. The people listening at home, you won't be able to see this, but I will say the link to donate is going to be active until the end of the year. So even if you miss because by the time that this goes up on Spotify and whatnot, it's going to be after the fact. We will all have ended the stream and gone home. But here, I got it right here. Like I said, just go check it out. And like I said, this is going to be I'm actually going to try and do this in a kind of funky little way here, but I am going to put the links and everything in the chat. And we will I will pin them to the to the top, so that way y'all will be able to see it. Y'all can come back to it, revisit it, whatever. So yeah, there's that. Let's see here. And
wow, Blerd can do hentai drawings with Black Panther doing the Black Power fist. You got some nerve.
I can. I mean,
Jamal, y'all are some sick, demented individuals. Who was that I saw in the chat earlier that I was shocked is watching us? Yeah, Sam Lamb 360. Let's go, Blerd Cove. Blessings, Blerd and Carter. Love from Trinidad.
Ooh, man, out here. Woo! I'm not gonna lie though, and yeah, this is probably gonna sound a little crazy. What was that episode of Atlanta? Because it's the episode I always think about when I think about Trinidad now. Well, the one where it focused on the white family who had the little boy whose nanny was from Trinidad.
Oh yeah,
and I think it was called like Trinity to the Bone. And the white family was like, how does he know all this stuff? Why does he know all these songs? Why is he why is he talking about this stuff?
When he started talking like that, And the family was just so welcoming to him, and the parents is just like, does not compute.
I ain't gonna lie, shit kind of fucked with my head a little bit. I was like, please, y'all, please don't hurt this little boy.
That was dope.
I was like, please don't hurt this poor child for this. I really ain't trying to. I was like, I really ain't trying to see his little kid get jumped on an episode of Atlanta, but nah, it was cool. I liked it a lot. That's it. You know what? Let's get into because we do have some super chats here.
Yeah,
we got some super chats here. I'm going back to get them. First and foremost, one straight out the gate from the homie Levester the Samurai with the $50. God damn. Says, morning, Carter, Blerd, and all in the chat. In Philly, and I just finished the Rocky Run Italian Stallion Challenge. Dude, first off, hold on. No, you ain't about to just get out of here. You ain't about to just get out of here without catching one of them bombs. Because, like, I'm going to tell you right now, if I tried to do that shit, I would have passed out. Y'all would have found my ass at the foot of the steps, dead. Like, y'all had to put the breathing... like little breathing mask on me. Y'all have to put that on me. Another half marathon of the books. It's a beautiful day. Have a great show. I'll catch the cave later after I see Marvels tonight. Hey, you do that, man. Go do that and enjoy yourself. Go have fun, man. Go take your knee, man. You've been doing too much today. You've been doing way too much today. That said, let's get to our next week. Huh? What's up?
God damn. No, I went to look up what the Italian Stallion Challenge was. 13 miles.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm good. I wouldn't make it. I would not make it. 13 miles? No. The only way you'll catch me running 13 miles is if someone is chasing me. Okay? Period.
5K, 10 mile, and 30. This is a dick move. It's the Rocky Run is 5K, a 10 mile, and a 13.1 mile. What the fuck is that 0.1? That's disrespectful.
Man, look,
Levester's legs were jelly, and he still had to do that 0.1 real quick. That's just I would hit a motherfucker in the face to tell me to do 0.1. I'm sorry. Not just 13, Sir UG. 13.1. That 0.1 is a very big factor, sir.
Oh man, yeah, no, I'm super straight on all that.
Yeah, most definitely. Salute to that man. I don't know that man, but salute to that man.
Oh no, 100%. Here, let me. I'm putting this in here, y'all. Like I said, it's gonna be kind of a little slapdash, but just kind of roll with me on this. There is that, and we're gonna pin this message at the top. Here is like everything, all the links and whatnot. Actually, I want to see something here. I wonder if that other one. I think it did the thing that I didn't want it to do. Here, let's see if it does it. I'm gonna click on this just to see if it opens. Okay, here. Let me fix that message because apparently YouTube doesn't understand how to separate shit. So we are gonna unpin this message. I'm gonna remove this message.
Ew, the 0.1 is running up them stairs. Oh, I'm rolling up the motherfuckers. I am crawling up those stairs. No.
Yeah.
No.
I did it again. No. It did it again. Okay. I see what I'm about to do. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna put the link to. I'm gonna just put the link to the donation page. Because technically you can watch the stream, I think, from the donation page. So there you go. We'll just do that. We'll do it that way. Anyway, that was way more fuckery than I imagined it would be. But yeah, you ain't getting me to run up the stairs. I would die at the stairs. We got a 1999 super chat. Says Gabriel the Dark Knight. Says, happy marvelous Saturday, Ernie Carter, Blerd Cave, just showing support and thanking Carter for the title of last week's Spotify podcast.
You are welcome.
My guy. Love it. Love to see it. Man, we also got one out here from Malik Young with $20. Says, hey, Ernie, can I get the jingle, man? It'll cheer my spirits as I break rocks here in the gulag. Says, y'all, keep it plus ultra in the cave today. You know what?
Wait, what is the goop? Is he in jail? Could you imagine motherfuckers watching us from jail?
Bruh, first off, that would be wild. Two, no, I think he's just at work. But you know what? Because it flowed so well together. Let's go and give a little 2000 party over. Oops, out of time. Super chat. Hey, that's for you, brother. That's for you. Also, man, we got Super Mishima out here. Man, we're just getting a lot of these with the once again with the 1999 super chat. Says happy Veterans Day. Also, yeah, celebrating level 37 today. Dude, hold on, man. Oh no. There you go. Right there for you. Says celebrating level 37 today. Gonna go enjoy this steak and lobster birthday. This shit, let me hit that again. Oh, it says gonna enjoy the steak and lobster day birthday dinner with my family and catch the rest of the stream later. Hey, we appreciate you, pimp, and happy birthday. Go enjoy yourself. And dude, first off, get that. I hope that steak is amazing. I wish I could have lobster, but I cannot. Allergic to shellfish, I've discovered. But yeah, I would eat some for my birthday. I just take a bunch of Benadryl before I did it. Be walking back in, face looking swole as fuck, can't breathe. That would be me. That said. Let's go ahead and get into our first topic. Because, like I said, okay. we got stuff, man. We got stuff to discuss. That is not the right one because we're not starting there. We're actually starting here with Loki season 2. We're going to talk about Loki first.
Okay,
we're going to talk about Loki first. So to start, the Carter. We had a little discussion before just kind of briefly about Loki when I asked you if you'd watched it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and tell you right now, Loki season 2 has not been bad. I actually have enjoyed it, but I will definitely say I felt like I was watching Doctor Who the whole time. Which I don't hate Doctor Who. It's just not a show that I actively seek out. It's something I only watch with my wife because she is the Doctor Who super fan in the house. She is the resident Whovian. I don't know if you knew that was
is that what they're called?
They are called Whovians. I didn't know if you knew that was the preferred nomenclature for Doctor Who fans. But yes, she's a Whovian, and I'm usually just kind of there for the ride. Like I'm usually sitting there like playing on my phone or like playing Nintendo Switch or some shit while she's watching it, and that's the extent of my enjoyment of it. But this season has been very interesting. I think we talked about it early on when it first started with the premiere, and I think you and I both were kind of in similar positioning when it came to the premiere. So before we jump to the finale, what do you think? Just overall, not just the finale, but just like the previous episodes. How were you rocking with all the other episodes?
So I didn't really know where it was going in those first episodes, and then as the season progressed, I found myself disliking Sylvie more and more. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. Like,
look,
Sylvie
man,
got on my fucking nerves, dude.
Look, man, she's just trying to work at McDonald's, man. Just man, let her live her life, man. She's just trying to get that. She's trying to get that $10, man. Wait, how much do they pay the McDonald's people $10 an hour now, or is it like 15? I don't know.
It must be 10 down there. You like you're paying to be homeless if you working for $10 at McDonald's. Fuck. Oh, did you know that McChickens are $5 now.
Oh no,
the same dollar menu ass McChickens are $5.
Oh no, they can kiss my whole ass with that. but
yeah. Those first episodes, I was really trying to figure out what was going on, but it was fun. And Owen Wilson as Mobius was always great anytime he was on the screen, man. And then they added OB this season, who he was just as good as Mobius, so you had that happening as well. But it was a little bit to try to keep up with everything that was going on. And as all, well, before we even get to the finale, like you said, but yeah, it was still enjoyable for me. It's just I had to get past my general dislike for Sylvie in this season, because in the first season I enjoyed Sylvie. It's just
she was awesome.
In this season, to me, with how she was acting and the very bitchy attitude and being mean to this person, mean to that person. Oh, you need to go do this and you need to save this and the TVA needs to do this. Why you need to do this? Because I asked people just to make sure that I was right in what I was thinking. Her attitude with everything, my mind kept going back to, bitch, this is your fault.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%, whole time.
And I had to go, like, I legitimately had to pull people to the side who were watching it as well. And I'm like, okay, just refresh my memory, because I hadn't rewatched the first season, because I think I got the gist of everything that was going on with Loki and Sylvie, and then people started making their fan fictions, and then when they kissed at the end of the first season, that really blew all the fan fictions up. So you had a lot of, I don't want to use your phrase because it's gross, but if memory serves, had that dummy not did what she did, we would not be in that scene right there.
Or actually, or more specifically, this.
That scene. Shout out to the audio files, because you all can't see it, but just, you know what I'm talking about. Her killing He Who Remains. So had she not done that, there wouldn't be a Loki season 2 and all the shenanigans and this, that, and third. And then you have the nerve to have an attitude with people that are trying to do this and do that when it's your fault that we having to do this shit in the first place. What? So that really, really started to irk me as it went on.
Yeah.
I cannot remember this brother's the white guy who was working with the TV as well. He was like the foil in all of this.
Zaniac.
Thank you.
That's what I call him. I just call him Zaniac because that's who he's supposed to be.
Gotcha. But I was watching a show that he does on Stars called I think not Train Spotting. It's Blind Spotting.
Blind Spotting, yeah, that's right.
I know him from that, so it was fun to see him on this, and I really liked what he was adding to it. I didn't really understand the like mother-son vibes I was getting, which was kind of weird from him and the older lady in the TVA. Baby Toshiro saying, so Carter probably wanted Renslayer to slay her, Sylvie. No, I didn't like either one of their asses. Yeah. I liked what was going on with Renslayer more just because she was the same character.
Well, also, she had a reason to be doing what she was doing.
Yeah.
She had a more legitimate reason.
Constant. She was the constant where she was trying to get a job done and was still focused on that point. So I understood why she was doing what she was doing. Was I hoping she would get clapped at some point? Absolutely. But just the shit with Sylvie was really, really grinding my fucking gears. But B-15. What honestly, what do you think about B-15? Because to me,
I like
B-15. She was just kind of there.
Well, I tell you what, that's how I felt about her in the first season.
Okay.
For those who don't know, we're talking about Wumi Masako, who as you probably have guessed by now, yes, is Hunter B-15. I liked her as a character a bit, like, cause like this was kind of my thing. So in the first season, this was her. This was all she did. She was just kind of there. She was kind of there to be the person who was constantly up Loki's ass about being a variant, being out of pocket, not being where he's supposed to be. And then over the course of that season, she kind of chilled. But then you get to this season, it's like, okay, she's more on board with what's going on, and she's also kind of a voice of reason.
Yeah.
In this current season, you know, she's more reasonable, and she has a better stance. Like, it's one of those, you know, it's kind of the thing where I feel like, and I don't want anyone to get it twisted, because you know, no, it's not that, like, you know, she was just bad. It was like, it was a Skylar White situation. It was a Skylar White situation where it's not that it's not like she's terrible. It's because she's in opposition of the protagonist is why people, I think, you know, would probably say, oh, you know, I don't like her in the first season or whatever. That's the only reason why I think people probably feel that way there. This season, she's on board. So it's kind of like, it's easier to be like, oh yeah, cool. And, you know, she's trying to be the voice of reason for the TVA, trying to get people to realize that the way the TVA has been working is not working. And I get it. I like that part of it. But like, so I was kind of with you, and I pride myself as a guy who's really good at following the narrative, following the plot, being able to keep up with like all kinds of crazy moving threads and things like that. I usually pride myself in that sort of thing, but I'm not gonna lie, this show, it was a lot harder for me to do. And I feel like a lot of it was just because, and I saw this being a common complaint that a lot of people brought up, and it was a very common complaint with this episode itself, was that there's just too much technobabble. And like, it kind of the same reason we talked earlier prior to the cameras rolling. We talked about gods, and it's the same problem I have with gods, is that there's too much technobabble. There's too much word salad. There's too many like, oh, we're just going to throw this random ass set of words so that way you'll just go with it. Like, you'll see these words and be like, okay, well, I guess this means something.
Allow me to be a dummy for a second. Is throughput a real word? Because we always hear throughput.
Throughput is a real word.
Okay.
It is a real word. It's an actual thing. But I'm going to be honest with you. The time travel mechanics of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, more specifically Loki, are bullshit. Now, let's be real here. Time travel in and of itself, also kind of bullshit. No one really knows how it truly works. I think the only show that ever did it in any way that was incredibly intelligent was 12 Monkeys. I don't know, did you ever watch the 12 Monkeys TV series?
Oh, okay.
Not the movie, the TV series.
You caught me. Yeah. Maybe an episode.
Okay.
Maybe. Because I remember Pyro from the X-Men movies was in it.
Yes. So you know all the time slipping that Loki was doing throughout the season? That was a thing on 12 Monkeys. Not for like a whole season, but like it just was like a thing that happened like I think once or twice. And actually some stuff that Loki does in this final episode was actually from 12 Monkeys. So yeah, they threw out a lot of technobabble, a lot of word salad to kind of be like, hey, here's the thing, just go with it. Like that's kind of, and honestly, I think even it was kind of meta too, because Loki was kind of doing the same thing. Like, you know, the whole opening of the show, like this isn't a spoiler, but like, you know, with Loki's just constantly expending all this time trying to, you know, to fix the ending of the previous episode. You could tell he's like, look, just go with it. Like it was kind of a double entendre, like where it's like he's trying to tell the people around him to just go with it because he's done this so many times, but also at the same time, he's kind of saying it to the audience as well. He's like, just go with it. Don't think too hard about it. Look, just I'm doing this. This is what's happening. Come on, just look. Yeah, we're doing this.
It reminded me of Looper when young Bruce Willis was talking to old Bruce Willis, and young Bruce Willis went to ask the old one about time travel stuff, and old Bruce Willis just goes, look, I do not want to talk about time travel shit. Because if we start talking about time travel shit, we're gonna be sitting here all day counting straws.
Yep. Like honestly, it's the only thing that made sense to me from The Flash. Mm-hmm. Like the part where Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne is talking to Ezra Miller about the multiverse. Yep. And then he's just like, it's a plate of spaghetti. And because honestly, that's kind of how I feel about it. It's just a hot fucking mess. It's a hot fucking mess to discuss. And when you mess with things, you may as well just be pouring spaghetti sauce all over the noodles and everything. It's messy. That's basically what they were trying to say. It was a really roundabout way to bring up an allegory for, being messy. It's something that's, once you start digging into it, just gets dumber and dumber as you go along. But that said, I liked everything as far as like what was happening in the episode, like all the stuff with Victor Time. Like honestly, I kind of felt bad for Victor Timely in this episode, just because I was like, man, how many times are we gonna do this? Like, that specifically. We'll go more into spoilers here in a little bit. But no, the show is fun. It's good. Mm-hmm. I just feel like it's a little up its own ass when it comes to, well, like you said, the throughput, the multiplier, it's like they just throw out these words that honestly to probably anybody else means absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. And but it's supposed to mean something. Yeah. And it just okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So one thing that I kept laughing about with the finale is that it got to a point where if there was something that I didn't quite get, because I tried to understand it at first and then they kept saying it and they kept saying it, and then I just got to a point where it's just like I don't care anymore. But it felt like I was reading this, and if you all don't know what this is,
here I'm gonna give you the main here for a moment. Here, go ahead.
All
shoot.
Right. This is the Marvel Epic Collection of Kieran Gillen's Journey into Mystery. There are 2 of these, and this is actually gonna be my recommended this week for you guys. I hate that glare is getting that fucking thing. Don't worry about that paper you saw at the top. I used a receipt for a bookmarker. Shut up. So the reason I say that it reminded me a lot of this book was because there's a lot going on in this book but this book is actually involving Kid Loki. And a lot of times when I'm reading this, it's a lot of words. Shut up. It's a lot of words. You all can't see the audio files, but he's trying to stunt because he's showing me bookmarks and shit right now. I can't hear that. But
oh no, it's a metal bookmark.
Fuck you. So there's a lot that happens in the Gillen Journey into Mystery book, and a lot of times with everything that is happening, I can't really quite get it because it's a lot. And it's a lot of moving parts. One reason for that might be because these Marvel Epic collections are actually kind of jank because none of them have recap pages. They just keep going.
Yeah, you're just going through the story.
Yeah, you're just going through each individual issue with no context whatsoever. But I really got to say that's after finishing that finale, it made me want to go back and for sure finish these. But at the same time, the feeling I had of being confused was the exact same from this book to the Loki second season as a whole, I will say. But yeah, I say all that to say it got to a point where I just kind of ignored it and continued reading just to be along for the ride. Just like with this second season of Loki, I just kind of said, fuck it. I'm still enjoying the characters and things like that. So I'm just going to enjoy the ride as a whole. That's how I got through the second season.
Not going to lie, if I would have spent more time than it takes to heat up a Hot Pocket on trying to like suss out what all it was they meant when they said certain things that they said, I would have been like this. This would have been me the whole time. I'd just be like, that would have been me. So yeah, no, I chose not to. I chose not
Shout
to.
out to Scott Fitzgerald. He's saying, as a big fan of Star Trek, TNG, and Sliders, all the techno babble wasn't an issue. I was a fan of Sliders too.
Yes.
So shout out to you for bringing up Sliders, bro.
Oh yeah, Sliders hit up until that last. I think it was like, I forget how many seasons it was.
Don't say last season. Like the last couple seasons.
Yeah, last couple of seasons was kind of weak. It was kind of weak. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna hold you. They were kind of weak. But that
steak was well done.
Oh yeah, it was charred. That, like, you ever, was it what Jerry say, like a $2 steak? That steak went from being like a $40, $50 steak to being a $2 steak by the time you got to the last couple of seasons.
That shit was so tough. If you couldn't finish it, you use it as a belt.
Yep. I mean, honestly, when Quinn's brother became a thing, that's when I was kind of like, all right, I'm out.
And the only original character left was the black dude.
Yeah, the crying man. I was like, bruh, oh my God. I was like, that's just because he ain't got nothing else to do. Like, he just holding on. That's a check. That's a steady check. I wasn't even mad at him. But no, I even as a Star Trek fan, I still don't like that shit. Like, when you have to, like, it's one thing when you have to throw out some bullshit just to kind of like, oh, okay, this is a thing. Because Star Trek is way smarter about it. Star Trek is often way smarter about their techno babble. This was just, I could tell it was people just throwing shit out there just to pad out a script. I could tell, just, that's what it was. But that said, all in all, very enjoyable finale. Even if I felt it had a few too many endings, or a few too many, like, I guess because you kind of have to do it because it's the finale. But like, I was like, okay, cool, all right. So this is, oh nope, it's still going. Nope, still going. All right, well, it's done. Nope, it is still going. But it was fine. It was still fine. It was not perfect, but it was not awful either. It was, honestly, it was just good, clean fun for the family. But that out of the way, I guess now we can kind of talk a little bit about spoilers. We can talk a little bit about spoilers for this. And I guess real quick, just, because I'm gonna be doing this a couple of times, so here we're gonna kind of give us the.
If you wouldn't mind,
yes, sir.
I would like to go first, just because I feel like you and everybody else laugh at me.
Oh, go ahead, shoot.
Comes to these spoilers. So,
go ahead, shoot. Go off, King.
Everything I just said. How some of the techno babble, I just kind of said fuck it because I'm enjoying everything else, so I'm just along for the ride. I was really enjoying the last episode. I made the mistake of. Okay, so here's the thing. It airs on a Thursday, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want anybody to judge me because I don't pay attention to a lot of. My mind is on other things, so I didn't realize that Friday was going to be a holiday and I was off work. So I hopped in bed, set my alarm because I'm finna turn over, but I'm finna watch this. I'm gonna watch this Loki while I'm getting situated. And then I got the volume up on my phone. I'm watching Loki while I'm in bed. And then at some point that phone went down and I turned over. And then I hear this loud ass operatic boom, boom. Oh, what the fuck is this? And then I just see Loki stepping up some stairs with the time strand. What the fuck just happened?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. And this will just show you where my mind was when that scene was happening. I don't know why, but I started thinking about Stranger Things. I'm gonna tell you why. So, okay, that part where he's like, Loki's, he's struggling going up the steps or whatever. Mine, the grainy picture was the only one I could find to do. But yeah, he's going up the steps the whole time. Kate Bush was playing in the back of my head for some reason because it kind of reminded me of some shit that happened in Stranger Things. Where it's like they every time they were in the Upside Down, they start playing that goddamn song that now is stuck in my head for fucking ever. Like I'd just be the wow. wow, wow. Wow. That's all that was literally all I heard the whole time. Like running up that hill, running up that road. That's all I heard.
This still is actually funny that you picked this specific image just because this was when I woke up and I'm like, what is he holding? Why does he have the horns? Did he go back to Avengers 1? What is happening? So I had to sit up and rewind. Well, I didn't miss like a solid like 10, 15 minutes. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, it was funny because like he started realizing he could control the time slipping and he just started going back to random places. And I thought it was actually cool because I actually was, and I don't know, maybe he did. I mean, I just didn't catch it, but I feel like I was kind of sad he didn't actually go back to Avengers 1. But he went to like various other points in the show. He went to also, I love that the show ended or the season ended with the same episode title as the title of the first episode of the first season. I thought that was cool.
What he said to Sylvie and Mobius is apparently what he said in the first Thor movie. Somebody told me.
Yeah, something along those lines. It's been a long time since I've watched the first Thor movie because I don't hate it, but I'm also not the hugest fan of it. That's why like every time people talk about the recent MCU movies and talk about how awful they are, I'm just like, man, look, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like Iron Man 2 didn't happen. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that Thor 2 didn't happen, or even Thor 1 for that matter. So yeah, that's why I always tell folks to calm down with that shit. But yeah, if it was something he said that calls back to the first Thor movie, I haven't watched that movie since Thor Ragnarok. So yeah, if that tells you how long it's been.
Yeah. It's one thing that I really like because after I rewound it and I sat up and so I could see what was happening. I gotta tell you, Loki with all the strands of time in his hand, him being the one.
Oh yeah.
Like him sitting on his throne, finally, the glorious purpose and all that. I know what kind of God I need to be. When I saw all these different YouTube channels start cropping up, or not new channels, excuse me, new videos about the finale, and everyone kept talking about the God of stories. Shut up. Y'all didn't read them goddamn out of your books. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. What the fuck are you talking about? Because I'm like, wait, God of story. That's what y'all call it. It never occurred to me, the God of story stuff. But then every YouTube video I have seen about this finale is just saying God of stories, God of stories, God of stories. I'm like, is that just some shit y'all read on Twitter?
Probably.
And y'all think it goes with this?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That's where my head went. Like I thought about it because I was like, oh, they're kind of. It wasn't like exactly the God of stories, but like where my head went was that I was like, oh, they're doing the bit where instead of like making him the God of stories, what they're doing is they're kind of taking a piece of that, like making it where instead of being the God of stories, I guess you could technically say more like God of the multiverse or something.
I was saying like God of the time streams, or like maybe that's what it meant. Like my mind did not go God of story.
But I feel like it's one of those things where they took that aspect, just filed the serial numbers off and called it something else. Because I mean, I could make a case for being a lot like that, but it's also at the same time one of those things too where I feel like a lot of people probably went to Wikipedia, saw that was the most recent thing going on with him, and was like, "Yep, that's what this is. That is my headcanon now." And it's not to say that they're far off. It's just that it's not exactly what they think it is. It's kind of like this is like one of those instances where like we got this covered. They threw so much shit against the wall that they finally got something close to right. Like you make up enough bullshit, eventually something you say does turn out to be true. That's kind of what I felt like this was. Enough people threw enough bullshit crackpot theories at this show that eventually something stuck.
One thing that it did do was I saw so many different videos keep saying God of stories, God of stories, God of stories. If anything, it it kind of sort of made me want to go get that Loki omnibus. Like,
I mean, I like, because of the stuff going on right now with Immortal Thor, I went back and read it. And it's like it's not like, I will say this, not to say it's bad or anything, just like it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite thing to read, but it is an interesting premise. And like, if you are ever confused about what's going on with Loki now, like, what I mean now, I mean like I'm talking about like in the comics themselves, not talking about in the MCU. If you're one of those people that like, if you picked up the Donny Cates run on Thor, if you picked up Al Ewing's Immortal Thor, and you're like, where is this God of Stories? Where's this God of Stories bullshit coming from? I would be like, well, you might want to go back and look at this. This is where this comes from. That's the only thing I would personally say. But yeah,
would you disagree with this? And it's fine if you do, because this
go
is
ahead,
just
shoot.
Do you think that a lot of people are running with this God of Stories take? Not saying it's not true,
right?
Not saying it's not true, but do you think a lot of these different videos that I've seen, do you think a lot of them are running with God of Stories because that is the comic counterpoint, in the sense of, because this is what I was telling someone yesterday, that was when Marvel Comics turned Loki basically into Tom Hiddleston Loki.
I 100% agree.
Oh, okay. So I mean, that's basically Tom Hiddleston. So maybe they're just turning him into the comic version, which the comic version turned into the movie. So that's what I kind of thought for a second.
I could see that. I could actually see that. And I've actually seen people bring up the Loki Agent of Asgard. Yeah. I've seen people bring up that storyline in regards to this a lot.
Okay.
So it's not just you. It's not just you. I've seen it. I've seen it on Twitter, YouTube, everywhere.
That's the only reasoning I could think as to why people would constantly bring up that is because if you look up Loki stuff, you will see a Loki that looks just like Tom Hiddleston. Wait, why does he look like him? God of Stories. Maybe that's what they turned him into at the end of the show. So that was why I thought, okay, maybe that's why y'all keep saying that shit, because y'all saw that.
Also, I'm not gonna lie to, and this is gonna show how nasty I am. So when they kept talking about Yggdrasil, it's not that I don't associate the word Yggdrasil, the name Yggdrasil, with Thor and Norse mythology and shit like that. 'Cause I mean, that is a thing, the world tree, whatever. But like the whole time they kept saying Yggdrasil, I just kept thinking about Kamen Rider Gaim, because that was the name of the evil corporation in that series. But like the whole Yggdrasil thing, I like it. Loki's a part of the world tree now. This kind of ties him back more into all of his Norse stuff, the Thor side of things, because Loki has been largely divorced from like the Thor stuff since Ragnarok. Like since Ragnarok, you can make a case for Infinity War or whatever, because they kind of like take place right after one another. But like, once Loki was taken out of the picture, he pretty much was just we know he's a god because he reminds us all the time that he's an Asgardian, or people at the TVA remind us. But for the most part, he hasn't been doing Asgardian shit. So like now this kind of puts him back in that corner. And if they ever just, and I think it's safe to say, anyone who's like, oh, I wonder if he's going to show up in Secret Wars. Of course he's going to show up in Secret Wars now as a result of everything just happened here. You'd be crazy to think he wouldn't. But yeah, I do think the TVA is kind of pointless now, though. If he's overseeing all this stuff, but I get why they keep the TVA around, because they're trying to be a better version of themselves than what they have been. Under the direction of B-15. Let me ask you this: what do you think about He Who Remains in this?
I was surprised
in this episode.
I was happy to see him. I didn't. A friend of mine, he said that He Who Remains would show up, and I vehemently disagreed because I didn't understand why. And then he brought up to me, he was like, dude, he told them in the first season everything that they had been doing, he paved the road. So I'm like, damn, you think that meant season 2 as well? That would be kind of wild. And then cut everything out. Holy shit.
Oh no, because when what was kind of funny, so you got to see not just Victor Timely, but also He Who Remains get broke off repeatedly the whole episode, damn near. I think Victor Timely early on, it was just like bam, boom, 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 boom. Like every time Tom Hiddleston, or Loki rather, went back in time to try and redo the scene from the previous from the previous episode where Victor kept getting deleted every time he walked out there into the time stream. That, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, God damn, I was like, man, why y'all doing my boy like this, man? Why y'all doing Victor like this? He ain't done nothing to nobody.
One thing I did like was the fact that he told Sylvie like reincarnation is how he'd be able to come back. So that popped in my head. So I'm like, wait, did that motherfucker mean that because Loki keeps going back?
Yeah, well, that's where things get weird to me, because like when they do the whole thing where they're constantly, so like yes, earlier they kept constantly killing Victor Timely by sending him out to the time stream. When they go back to the at the end of time where He Who Remains was in the season finale, the season 1 finale, and they keep doing it yet again. Sylvie just keeps over and over, boom, 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 killing He Who Remains every time, and Loki having to. I want to point out too, I actually loved how tired Loki got. Like just constantly going back and trying to stop Sylvie, because it just cemented the fact that he's not going to be able to stop her from doing what it is that she wants to do. Like, unless the only way he's be able to do it is like he has to kill her, like, or something is going to have to happen. But I appreciated that He Who Remains was in on the whole thing. Like he literally was like when it got to the point, I think like it was like 12 some odd times now that we watched him get killed. He's like, so he's like, you finally figured it out.
Yeah. When he just stopped, and I'm like, bruh, he could have did that the entire time. So that's why like this last episode was fire.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it was
just with everything that was happening, and Jonathan Majors doing his thing for sure, and the conversation that he was having with Loki. Like, this was dope.
Oh yeah,
this was dope.
Well, and I also like the revelations too, like just the fact that he like something that like they said in the first season that kind of got contradicted in this. Technically it was on purpose, but like because we saw He Who Remains in the first season, like, oh, if you kill me, then all my variants are going to be unleashed. And then this episode, he's like, nah, technically they're already out there. He's like, they're already out there. You don't have to worry about that. Like he's like it implies that they have been moving like. They've been moving and operating in the MCU like before all this even began. But I also find it funny though that I think the way I understood it was that the only thing that's changed is that they're not like all the variants before were aware of the TVA. Now they're just kind of like, whatever. Because Victor doesn't get the book, he just gets to make whatever the fuck it was he was making, like cobbling shoes and shit.
He Who Remains is permanently dead now, because I don't think he thought Loki would actually go through with being the man in the chair. Yeah, basically. The one thing that I don't like about this episode, and it has nothing to do with the episode, and it has everything to do with the people that absorbed the episode.
Got you. Yeah.
Now we're gonna get a bunch of crackpot theories about what certain shit meant. So now, with that being involved, it's gonna turn into something that is just going to be obnoxiously hurting your head, because I saw a video today, right before we started the show, and it was saying that He Who Remains in season 1 saw Loki, or he knew Loki was in the chair, because they cut to a scene. It's of Loki sitting in the chair in this finale, and it cut back to He Who Remains in that final episode when he looks off and saying, "We just crossed the threshold."
Oh yeah.
I fibbed earlier. He picked the thing up and he dropped it, and he didn't know what was gonna happen there. And then they were like, "That's probably because Loki did this." Now, We don't know if that's true.
Well, you know,
it could be cool enough to where it could be. So now you're gonna have several motherfuckers that are gonna be doing that, and it's just gonna be like, oh my god.
You know what happened is because remember when Multiverse of Madness came out, and a lot of people started saying, "Oh, that's what he was talking about." Yeah, because there was like moments in that where like shit was popping off, and it's like, no, maybe not. Or maybe so. I don't know. Here's the thing. You know what I like? I like not knowing. I sometimes like ambiguousness. It's kind of like there's a movie that recently came out. It has nothing to do with Loki, by the way. But it's actually one of my favorite movies out right now. And you can actually go watch it on you can actually go watch this on Hulu. It's a movie called No One Will Save You. And what I love about this movie, it's like a home invasion film, but at the same time, it's also like an alien abduction film. That's all I really want to say about it. But like the ending, and it's something I appreciated that the director said about it. He said he intentionally made the ending incredibly vague because he wanted people to have their own opinion about it. Like, he was like, you could hear 5 different people tell you what the ending is, and they'll probably each have a different take on what happened at the end. And while I like that sort of stuff, I don't like how crackpotish people get about it, but like I do appreciate that aspect of it. So I actually kind of like case in point, Ravonna Renslayer. We don't know what happened to her. We don't know. I mean, there's an assumption that it was Eliath.
Yeah, I'm really hoping she caught it. I'm really hoping she caught it.
The general assumption is that it was Eliath, and I don't have an image to support this in front of me right now. Some people, and this is where we start getting into crackpot, Carter. So it's funny that you had brought that up because, like I said, it came up organically, but in that same scene, you see that big ass pyramid in the background, and a lot of folks wondered because how you were talking about how like, because all the recent stuff in the comics, people think, they're calling Loki the god of stories now. So it's funny. People have been doing the same thing with Renslayer because of that scene where, because like I said, I don't, it's got cropped out, but in that scene, there's a big ass pyramid in the background. A lot of people thought that this was supposed to tie in somehow to the Kang series that was going on last year. And there was an issue where Ravonna, like when Kang went back to the time of Rama Tut, his one of his other variants, Ravonna was there. And she existed in that timeline, but she was Moon Knight. She was the Moon Knight at that time. So people went way deep. Like, they took that one thing that was just in the background that might have been important, might not have been. They did take a moment to focus on the pyramid in that scene, maybe a little longer than they probably should have. But because of that, people ran back to the comics and were like, oh yeah, no, she's Moon Knight now. That wasn't Eliath. That was Khonshu. That's what. This is the type of shit that happens now because because of that.
The other take that I saw was that the pyramid in the background.
Yeah.
If you remember the end of Quantum Mania, you had that Egyptian Kang.
Yep.
And if you remember
Rama Tut.
If you remember earlier in the season of Loki, it looked like there might be something romantic with Kang and Ravonna Renslayer. So now people are saying that pyramid's in the background because that Egyptian Kang from Quantum Mania is probably going to save her from there, and then whatever the hell.
That is the other theory. That is the other theory that that I have also heard. So, like I said, people, like, honestly, this is just kind of the nature of the beast. Like, people are going to they're going to eat this shit up. Like, and honestly, if they did decide to go with that, like, of the crackpot theories I've heard, that one makes the most sense. Like, that one makes the most sense if they want to do it. And I don't think they're going to kill off Ravonna Renslayer because she's a huge part of Kang as a character. So I don't think she's gone permanently. I mean, even if she did die there, we'll see another version of her at some point later. I will say the thing I found the most puzzling was what they did with Ms. Minutes. How they were like, oh, we're just gonna bring Ms. Minutes back. It's all good. Nothing bad could happen ever again. And I was just like, bruh, no. That heifer broke. She was out here thirsting and was ready to kill everybody. She wanted that Victor Timely. She wanted that Timely D, and just lost her whole mind.
And shout out to Bird Nerd in the chat saying, y'all wrong. That pyramid was a shout out to Apocalypse coming to the MCU.
I mean, considering everything we're about to talk about here in just a moment, you might not be wrong. Real quick, though, I do want to give, because like I said, I brought it up earlier. Like I said, link is up in the top. So the thing I was going to bring up is, because we're about halfway through the show right now. We are, or rather, I am going to be, after the show is over, I'm going to be heading out to go hang with my homies over at Nerd 901. We're going to be, they're actually live right now. I'm going to be heading over there. We're going to be raising money for Le Bonheur Children's Hospital, so make sure they're going to be doing the stream for 12 hours. It will end at 12 a.m. midnight tonight Central Standard Time, so it'll actually be like 1 a.m. if you're on the East Coast, if you're on Eastern Time, but don't ask me about what time it'll be on Pacific, because I can't think right now. It'll probably be like, what, 10 p.m. your time. So we'll be running so 1 p.m. or not 1 p.m. 1 a.m. tonight is when it'll end Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific. But yeah, we're running for 12 hours. We'll be playing all kinds of video games, raising money. You can donate any amount, but we do have specific numbers that we're going to be shooting for, that you can get certain things. You can have us eat a nasty bean, the bean boozles, the bean that could be either barf or orange juice or some bullshit. I don't really remember. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, Carter. Guess what we got?
What's that?
We got the bomb. We got the bomb hot sauce. So if we get, like I said, so if we get to a we get to a certain we get to a certain milestone, man,
make Nick eat it.
Well, he was already going to do it, but I said I would do it with him in solidarity. So, yeah, that'll be a thing. I think that's if we hit $2,000, we'll do the bomb. It's not something we're going to be doing like every time somebody donates, because, dude, I'm just going to be real. I can't take that. My stomach would kill me, and my ass would be on fire for the next week. And this is coming from a guy who loves hot stuff. But let's get into first and foremost, we'll give shout out to the homie out here, Jonathan Moda, out here with 34 months. So it's great to see you all. Honestly, Sylvie, kind of sick of waiting for her to do something and then does nothing. It seems to be that He Who Remains set all this in motion and always has. He literally knew everything, I think, that was pretty much going to happen. Maybe with the exception of one thing, if that. And they pretty much let you know there was very little that was going to happen on this show that he didn't prepare for, which honestly, that is the most Kang thing that anyone could do. Which kind of just shows you how out there Kang and all of his various variants can be. That said, let's get into our actually, we got one more thing I want to address real quick. I was gonna save this for the end, but I want to go ahead and get this out of the way now, just because we're going to be I don't know how our time is gonna be. But first, I do want to say, those of you who you've been following me for a long time, I rock with Blerd.com, and of course they have refreshed the store. They got a bunch of new stuff out there, and just FYI, you can in fact go to the blerd.com/blerd shop, and you can pick up all kinds of awesome stuff. They actually recently, it's kind of hot in here, but you know, I had it on standby anyway. They just recently added a really awesome hoodie. And if you go to blerd.com and you decide you want to pick up some stuff, some stickers, some shirts, some hats, whatever, you can go, and if you use the promo code BLERD without fear, you will get 20% off your entire purchase. By the way, I got the hoodie right here. See, look at it. Look, y'all know nothing about this. Y'all know nothing about this. Y'all don't know nothing about this right here. Yeah, you know, that's that life right there. I'm out here, man. I'm out here. This thing is actually really warm, very comfortable, which, that said, is very warm. It's hot as fuck in my room, so I'm not going to be wearing this for the remainder of the show. It is not going to happen. I'm just putting it out there. But yeah, this is nice quality too. Like, I've actually had people stop me on the street asking me where I got this from and trying to get put on. So that said, oh man, thank you. Oh man, out here, dude, out here. Look at this. This is actually one of the homies right here. This is actually one of the homies, Michael DeFonte, aka Dr. Midnight, out here coming through, showing some love. Says thank you for the fantastic stream. And no, thank you. Also, by the way, because I want to show off something.
Oh God.
So, for those that don't know, Michael DeFonte is not just a comics writer, also an artist, inker, colorist too, if I'm not mistaken. I actually broke a little bread with Michael very recently. I'm gonna give myself the one just for a moment. I broke a little bread, and I'll have to pull up the link. I have to find the link because I want to put some respect on this. But I actually picked up some comics from my guy, which were pretty freaking awesome. Got Cassiopeia. And actually, this is, I think I got, was it 3 or 4 issues? Or no, was it 3, 4? Yeah, I got 4 issues of Cassiopeia, which is really awesome. Really good magic-based comics. Love it. Because it's kind of one of my deals, one of my jives. And then we got Passage into Purgatory, which is really good. Really like this one. And where's the other one? It's like hiding from me. Thorns of the White Rose, also really cool. Really good one too. So, if you are interested in stuff like that, you like some good indie comics, which by the way, Michael DeFonte is one of Blerd Co's finest. Go and check him out. I'm gonna find the link and I'll drop that link in the chat for those who are interested. Other thing, before time gets away from us, is I have an announcement to make. Because this is something Carter and I talked about. So there are going to be potentially more live streams coming your way. Not just the Blerd Cave. So as it stands, there are 2 new live streams that are in the works. One of which is going to be happening a little bit sooner than the other. There's one that Carter and I have planned that I'm still figuring out the logistics on. But once we have that locked down, nailed down, we will give you an announcement on that. The other one is a little bit closer to being a real thing just because it doesn't require me to figure out how something works. But I'm gonna play a little teaser for it, so you guys can be ready for it. And if I blow your ear holes out because the music is too loud, I apologize because I'm pretty sure I turned it down, but You never know. But here's a little teaser for what comes next.
Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today, not today, not.
So this is going to be the new show that's going to be coming up, Nerds of Culture. It'll be me, myself, the Blur Without Fear. It'll also see a face that you probably are used to seeing in the chat of the homie Left Face, formerly known as Beta Boy TV. And we'll also have one of my other homies you've seen here in the chat before, Just Chris Cypher. Two really awesome and also funny people who I enjoy having conversations with. We're going to be doing a show that's basically going to be kind of along the same. It's not going to be exactly the same as what Carter and I do. We're not going to be doing like week-to-week reviews and topical. Some stuff will be topical, but it's going to be more like just straight up discussions. We'll have like a topic each week, and we'll kind of sit down, deep dive into it from all the different aspects, but also focusing on the culture as a whole. So yeah, there you go. We'll have that coming up. But just to give you guys a taste of what it is Carter and I have planned. The idea is going to be something I think y'all have been asking for a while. And I kind of slick know how I want to do it, but it's just going to be the logistics of just doing it. But the idea is to have a show that is strictly dedicated to questions from you all. So basically it's going to be a show that is fueled by you all. And we might do call-ins. The idea is to do some call-ins. Like I said, we're figuring all that out. So, lots of new stuff is happening on the channel, and I hope y'all enjoy. So yeah, just keep it locked, and make sure if you haven't done so already, make sure you have notifications, everything turned on, so that way YouTube lets you know when we do all this stuff. And yeah, that's all I got. Carter,
I got one.
What you got?
So there was another conversation that Ernie and I had this week about setting down a time where I could learn a couple things and look into a couple things, because there are currently 672 of you nut job people that have subscribed to me on YouTube that have not gotten any kind of comic book content whatsoever, with the exception of me doing a kind of just show and tell of all of the comics that I currently own that is over there right now. I had them at a buddy's house for like 2 years, and I finally had the time to where I could go pick those up, grab them, and then just show you all the different floppies and trades and hardcovers and other stuff that I'd forgotten that I'd had. So I say all that to say that videos will be coming from your boy soon. But when I say soon, this time I actually mean soon. They're going to be a lot of Image stuff, probably. A lot of DC stuff, probably. And just some other stuff that you all have asked me to do video-wise that you haven't seen Ernie do, that you haven't seen Rob do, that you're kind of interested in. So yeah, there's some stuff that is coming, and it is coming relatively soon. So be on the lookout for that. Yes. Ernie just pinned Michael DeFonte's work in the chat. That's another link I'm gonna have to remember that I'm gonna have to put on Spotify when I upload this podcast. So
just ask me, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you got more streams coming, you got more videos coming, so there's a lot more content that will be coming soon.
Yes. So. It's like I said, it is all in an effort to honestly it's all in an effort to just kind of give you all some more stuff to to have. Like I said, it's not to say you'll be getting less. Well, anyway, well, no, these are all things I had been wanting to do for a long time, and just I've been really lazy about trying to figure out how to do them, the logistics of doing them. And like I said, I'm gonna be sitting down with Carter. I'm gonna be showing him some stuff. in DaVinci Resolve, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good stuff. I think it'll be good, clean, fun. Well, I don't know how clean it'll be, but it'll be good fun for everyone. Maybe not for the family. Might not be for the family. I don't know. I'd probably.
Not mine.
No. Not
mine.
Also, man, we got Aeropol out here with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Also, Michael DeFonte coming in once again, says I'm humbled. Thank you. Hey, no, you're awesome, dude. Don't think nothing of it. You're awesome. Also, man, we got a first time super chat here from Bird Nerd with the $4.99. Dude, appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome to the fold. So let's go ahead and get into our next thing here, and that is we're going to talk about the Marvels. This first part is going to be spoiler free, as you guys may or may not already be used to. Here's the thing. Let's jump into this. I actually spent more time talking about Loki than I had actually intended to, so we might spend almost equally as much with this. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like because this is kind of shorter, technically, just in terms of we're not talking about a whole show as opposed to like a movie that's only an hour and 45 minutes. So we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, so I think you went to go see it Friday.
Yep.
You went to go see it Friday. I'm going to go see it Thursday. And we both came out of it with a we both came out of this with some thoughts. But the Marvels, it is out, it is in the weeds, it is done, it's a thing now. And now the hate train that is the haters of the MCU now have something to talk about. It's been funny because after I saw it, I posted a tweet that just basically was like, man, more or less the long and short of it was that there was really like the stuff that people talked about, the stuff that people like were angry about. I was like, none of that is here. Like none of that is actually here. And yet it seemed like everyone and their freaking grandmother, was losing their shit, being angry about this. Now, granted, there were also people who had some damn sense and realized that this was all just, this was all just people just talking shit just to, feel as though they had some sense of relevancy. But I thought it was awesome as a whole. Like, I'll just go ahead and put that out there right now. I really enjoyed the movie. The setup is pretty simple. It's a pretty simple premise. And honestly, if you saw Ms. Marvel, the Disney Plus series, you kind of already know where it's going for the most part. It pretty much is pickup. Is pretty much pickup from that last scene in Ms. Marvel where Kamala Khan, like, just out of nowhere swaps places with Captain Marvel. And it's just like, oh, well, what the hell is going on here? This makes no absolute sense. Like, what is going on? Like, did they do the thing where her powers worked like they did in the comics where she turned herself into Captain Marvel? Like, what's going on? No, it's like, no, they're actually, as we saw more trailers, they are literally trading places. And I think that became more evident as more of the trailers came along. But we didn't really know the how or the why. That's pretty much the pitch here. And because of everything that is going on, this means that the nature of their powers, Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, they both have to figure out how they are going to get past this and stop a new threat. And honestly, that is it. That is the story. This isn't like Citizen Kane. This isn't What a lot of people, I saw a lot of people online, they were expecting this to be like some like super deep, mega ultra like convoluted affair. This movie is very simple. It's actually almost kind of reminiscent of what early MCU films used to be before there was like oh man, we got a cinematic universe. We got to fit 20 other things in here. Like, it's a very, like, outside of like the end of the movie, it's a very self-contained film. Like, you don't really, I mean, it helps if you've watched Ms. Marvel, but if you haven't, then the only thing you're missing is just backstory on Ms. Marvel. They do a pretty good job of giving you an idea of who she is in the movie. If you haven't watched WandaVision, I would say, yeah, that would kind of help you a little bit. It would explain to you why some random black woman is running around with superpowers, being able to phase through shit and shoot light out of her hands and eyes and whatnot. But I mean, I feel like, this was solid. Carter, where are you at?
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. I won't sit here and say that it was this awful, just dumpster fire of a film. I've seen those. This was not that. This was it. And in saying that it wasn't this dumpster fire, it also to me wasn't this big. Oh my God, this shit was heat. This shit was drip. This shit was this. The Marvels are her. I'm not gonna say that either. But because I saw a lot of people in the Discord that was just like, "Oh my God, this movie was fucking fire, bro!" This movie, to me, no, it wasn't. It wasn't all that. Dog, simmer down, sit down, fix your pants, fix your shirt. Your shirt got wrinkled when you jumped up saying the Marvels was absolute fire and heat and the greatest Marvel thing this year. Fix your shirt, calm down, sit down. It was good. It was all right. That was it.
I will say it was fire.
I'm really trying. I'm trying to get away from saying all the goddamn time on these.
It's okay.
Because somebody called us out for it, so now I'm trying to catch myself.
Dude, don't let people do it. Don't pay. Dude, let me tell you something, Carter. Don't pay that shit any attention. Don't, because you know what that is. You know what that is, right? You know what that is. That's folks trying to change you. If it's a part of who you are, it's who you are. So.
Well, I do need to stop doing that when it comes to these because I don't like that I do it.
I mean, that's fine. Again, but people do that because they're trying to enforce change on you.
Yeah. All right. So back to the movie.
Anyway, yes. Go ahead.
It was fine. Nothing. And I don't want this to sound negative, but I know a lot of people are gonna twist and turn and.
Well, now it's gonna sound negative. Because you put it in their heads already.
Well, I feel like this is something you've told me. A lot of people are already gonna have it in their heads already. No?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're already gonna do it.
So I don't think it was anything like just big and huge and anything special to write home about, but it was good. It was better than what I have seen recently when it comes to Marvel stuff. So I will say that. Somebody sent me a John Campea video that I thought was very unique in what it said. We used to go into Marvel, and I'm happy we at this point now because I want to know what you think.
Okay.
It used to be we were able to, or it used to be at a certain point with Marvel films, you expected great films every time you walked into a theater. But now we're not expecting the films to always be great. Now we're just hoping that they're good. And I thought that was really something to say when he was talking about the Marvels because it was good. It was fine. It wasn't great by any stretch. It was not horrible. Get the fuck out of here for all these people that are running around here saying that this movie was awful and it was this and it was that. No. I won't let you sit there with a straight face and try to say that the movie was awful. I also won't let you try to glaze this movie like it was the best thing since fucking in-game Infinity War, anything like that. It was fine. It was fine. And what I want to get across to people, the movie was fine. There is nothing wrong with that. Nothing. It doesn't have to be this knockdown, drag out anything. It can just be fine. It was solid. It was all right. No one should argue against something because you not jumping for joy just like they are. It was good. And you shouldn't be angry that you feel that it was good.
Well, no, here's what I'm gonna point out, and this is something I've said for a long time. I feel like ever since Infinity War and Endgame, people feel like every movie has to be that. And if it's not that, they get angry. Like, people go into a solo MCU film expecting it to have all the crazy shit that Infinity War and Endgame had in it. And it kind of set this expectation where, like, literally, you would hear people say this. Where, like, you know, if the new Black Panther comes out, if the new Thor comes out, if your Shang-Chi comes out, Eternals comes out, these are the things I would hear people say. It wasn't Endgame. It wasn't Infinity War. Like, that was like a thing that people said, like, all the time. And I was like, dude, it wasn't supposed to be. Like, even Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, like, regardless of whatever your feelings are about that film, that movie's purpose and intention wasn't to be Endgame or Infinity War. Like, and anyone who thinks that was crazy. But all that aside, I think it depends on what camp you sit in. Here's the thing. If you are a person who already does not like any of the characters involved in the story, yeah, you're probably not going to like this movie. I'm going to be honest with you, because that's all this movie is about these characters and their interactions with one another. If you are a person who either A, does not like Carol Danvers, or B, does not like Monica Rambeau, or C, does not like Kamala Khan, or D, all of the above, yeah, I imagine you would have a lot to dislike about this movie. I would imagine.
I would have to hold you there just because I want to correct you. I want to correct you on one thing that you just said.
Okay.
I really don't think that it's that they don't like Captain Marvel.
Oh, there's like a lot of that.
No. But what I'm saying is they don't like Brie Larson. And
no, it's
they
both.
Don't like Brie Larson. They don't like Captain Marvel.
Well, no, there are people who just don't like Captain Marvel. Period. Though, like there are. I mean, yeah, both things can be true. There are people who hated Captain Marvel even before Brie Larson was cast as the character. So yeah, I call bullshit on that. But yeah, there are people who don't like Brie Larson, and there are people who also don't like seeing a black woman, you know, wielding the kind of power she has in the MCU. There are also people who don't like seeing a Muslim girl, you know, having any kind of a place in the MCU. I've seen a lot of that. And then seeing all three of these things together, yeah, they don't like that either. But here's what I'm going to say. If you're a person who's a huge fan of any of these three characters, or in my case, all three of these characters, I think it is a great movie because you're getting a lot of what you want. Like, I will definitely put my bias out there front and center. I'm a huge fan of all three characters. Captain Marvel, both of them. Carol and Monica. And I'm gonna put the F on it because I want to make it clear. I'm a huge fan of, you know, Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan. I'm a huge fan. So seeing all three of some of my favorite characters in Marvel Comics on the big screen, in the same place, at the same time, working together as, you know, just like, okay, here's the thing. This is a comic book fans movie. 100%, because this movie plays like a comic book. Like, this is no different than like a 5-issue arc of a Kelly Thompson Captain Marvel run that I've read before, or like a 5-issue arc of a Kelly Sue DeConnick Captain Marvel set that I read once. Like, it just, the only difference is, like, you know, the settings. And yeah, but I would say, yeah, if you're somewhere in the middle, you don't have any, one particular leaning one way or the other, I would say, yeah, it's perfectly fine to be somewhere right there in the middle of it all. But yeah, I will definitely say, yeah, 100%.
If you're someone who's a fan of all three, I feel like when you walk out of this one, you'll just be a bigger fan of Kamala Khan. Because you know what? I'm happy with what you said there, because you said it was something, it felt like something that you had read before. It happened to me a few times watching this. I remember Miss Marvel, I think it was Miss Marvel's annual, or maybe it was Wolverine's annual. Either way, the entire annual was just about something that was happening with Wolverine, and Miss Marvel got to team up with him for the first time, so she was freaking the fuck out and showing
I think it was Miss Marvel.
Pictures. Okay, it was Miss Marvel's annual. Okay, so, but that's the kind of this was like a Miss Marvel, like a really fun Miss Marvel annual.
Yeah,
like I could see this being that. Like
well, yeah, there's an issue of Kelly Thompson's Captain Marvel, where I mean, not the same thing is happening, but Kamala Khan gets invited to a game night at Carol's. And when she shows up,
was Spider-Woman there? I think
probably.
What you're talking about.
Yeah, I think she was. Well, the long and short of it is, it was obviously it was Carol Danvers, because it's her fucking book. But Photon, because now Monica Rambeau goes by Photon now. Like she was Spectrum, and I did appreciate the nods to the many names that Monica has had in her comics history or whatever. But
Proton made me laugh.
Yeah, it was like it was there was all kind of bullshit in there. But so what they did was Captain Marvel. Yeah, she had invited everybody over. So yeah, here was the breakdown of it. This was the group. It was so at the time she was still going by Spectrum. This shows you that it's been a couple of years. But it was Hazmat, Spider-Woman, Wolverine, Spectrum, and Carol Danvers. They invited they invited Kamala Khan over for board game night. Or she said game night. Kamala took it as board game night. So Kamala showed up with a bunch of board games, thinking they were going to be playing like actual board games, when in truth they were going to be playing poker. And because Kamala is Muslim and gambling is considered anathema in Muslim culture, she was not allowed to do it, so therefore they had to go do something else. But the whole point of it was just how they squared that circle with the characters being in the same room with one another. I was like, that's kind of cool. But you were about to say.
I wanted to ask you. Well, I want you to answer this.
Go ahead, shoot. Go ahead, shoot. I have answers.
Okay. First thing. Jose B. Prime. It was the movie was cool, but not $13 cool. Here's the thing though. It was $15 for me. How much are Disney Plus subscriptions? Stop it.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's a movie. Yeah,
that's basically one of these Netflix, Disney. That's one of these streaming services, and you got a movie out of it. So that's how I talked out of it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That argument is kind of dumb to me. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I didn't say that, but I was kind of. That's how I feel.
But it is because you've already paid for it. You've paid for it. You probably spent more getting something from McDonald's that was not even half as good. I'm just going to put that out there.
If The Marvels is a comic book movie for comic book fans, couldn't you say that Phase 4 as a whole is just one giant filler phase?
Depends on what you're talking about. I could say Thor Love and Thunder would be filler. I thought Shang-Chi was great. And I liked Eternals a lot. Here's the thing.
Eternals was Phase 4.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that came out. Yes. Okay. after Infinity. Yep. Okay.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't expect everyone here. Okay, here's the problem I think Marvel fans have, and they really need to get the fuck over it. You're not going to like everything. And not everything is made with you. Case in point. So like when the Barbie movie came out and everybody was like, "Oh, fuck this movie. This movie's terrible, it's trash." But did you ever notice the people who were saying that? It was typically folks that the movie wasn't even intended for. Like, it was like grown-ass, old-ass, like 50-something-year-old dudes who were crusty as fuck, don't like, they weren't, I mean, which to be fair, the movie's tagline was that whether you liked Barbie or hated Barbie, the movie was for you. But I think a caveat that should have been put on that is that also, if you're like some, 40, 50-year-old dude who doesn't like to have fun, this movie is also not for you. Because that's the thing I kept telling everybody. I was like, you don't have to like Barbie to like the Barbie movie or to even like marginally enjoy it. Because it's not really it's not what people think it is. Mm-hmm. And I was like, shit, it makes fun of Barbie more than it does anything else. It's kind of the same thing here. It was the same thing, like, even though I don't like the movie A Wrinkle in Time, also at the same time, that movie was not for me. It was not meant for me. And I recognize that. Hell, there's a lot of things that come out that aren't for me, but I can also put myself in other people's shoes and put myself in a position where I can be like, okay, I see, case in point, One Piece, the Netflix show. Fucking hate One Piece. But I can see why people like that live action show. I don't like it. I mean, I think it's just okay. It's not going to make me go watch the anime. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, it's trash and you're trash for liking it. Or like, it's trash and that's my opinion, but also I'm going to treat my opinion as a fact. Like, nah, it just is what it is. But that said, yeah, you're not going to like everything. And that's fine. It's okay. Yeah. I don't begrudge you if you do not like something. But I'm going to talk about why I do. Case in point, I loved the Captain Marvel movie. But if there was one criticism I had about Captain Marvel, it was that Brie Larson got Hawkeyed. And what I mean by that is, go back and watch the first Avengers movie.
Okay.
And this is something that Jeremy Renner has said himself, is that when Age of Ultron came out, he was so glad that he finally got to play the character he was being paid to play.
Oh, got you.
I'll forgive you because you never watched Captain Marvel, but one of the things about Captain Marvel was that Brie Larson, a lot of people made the complaint that, she didn't emote enough, or that she wasn't, emotional enough, and then some people said she was too emotional, which is so weird. It was like, I was like, always want to ask, what movie were people watching? But the whole point of that was because she had a thing on her neck, like an inhibitor thing that was basically supposed to keep her powers in check. And she was also, told the entire time she was on Hala not to let her emotions out, not because it was bad, but because they were worried her powers would become too much for them to be able to contain, because they were effectively holding her hostage without her even really knowing it. So it's not till you get to basically the end of the movie, kind of like with Hawkeye and Avengers, it's not till you really get towards the end of the movie where Hawkeye is acting like Hawkeye. That's kind of what happened with Captain Marvel in that movie. She wasn't really Captain Marvel until the last 15 or 20 minutes. And in this movie, you get to see Brie Larson actually being Captain Marvel for the entirety of the movie. She's actually getting to play the character she was paid to play, and I thought that was cool. Not that she didn't get to do that in Endgame, she did, but she was barely in it. So it was like, oh, okay, cool. She's actually getting to have more of a personality, in this movie. So I was like, cool, awesome. I was like, that's fantastic.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead, shoot.
Because we are still in spoilers.
Yes, or we're spoiler free.
Oh,
we're in spoiler free. Yes.
Okay. Never mind. I will wait. But
I love how you look. I love how you didn't once look down at the lower third, which is honestly there more for you than it is for anybody else.
No. I'm finna tell you something right the fuck now, which is, I swear to, it's gonna make it much worse than what you just said.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I looked at I looked at it and saw spoiler, and then looked right back at the chat And then I had to look at it again, and so spoiler free.
See, y'all. Reading is fundamental.
But
y'all.
shout out to Herbert Scott saying that she was on conservatorship.
Yeah, she was. She actually was. She was on almost the entirety of the first Captain Marvel movie. She was on conservatorship. Now she ain't. She's Captain Marvel Unchained. Now I just and once again, I like what Brie Larson did this time around. I thought that I was like, she felt more like the Carol Danvers I have read in all my favorite Captain Marvel comics. Tiana Paris, who plays Monica Rambeau, also did a fantastic job. Not to say that like she hadn't done before, because I mean we'd already seen her in WandaVision, so we already kind of knew she could play the character. But it was actually nice to see her working opposite of Brie Larson in the chemistry they had, even though there are some reasons why they're a little rough in some spots because, they got there's some unaddressed beef between them that we'll talk more about in spoilers. But I also like the fact that Nia DaCosta, the director of this film, also is a huge Monica Rambeau fan. And while she had to admit she couldn't put everything in there for Monica Rambeau she wanted, because it would have honestly kind of made some of the things going on in the film trivial, but I appreciated that she showed a Monica Rambeau that was learning to become the Monica Rambeau from the comics. Like she was learning about her powers. And Iman Vellani was fantastic as Ms. Marvel, as she was in the Ms. Marvel TV show. She was already doing the work already.
I don't feel like she acted. I feel like she just be that hyped and freaked out that she around all these famous people.
I mean, but here's the thing though. That's fine. Look,
it
some of the
fits.
Some of the best wrestling promos in history are shoots.
Yeah, but that's why it's so cute, because it don't look like that. It does not look like that young woman is acting. Like she's real deal. I'm in a scene with Samuel L. Jackson. I'm gonna freak the fuck out.
Yeah,
I have Brie Larson in front of me. I've probably seen several of her movies. If you've seen a movie from Tiana Paris, there's only one movie that really made her something. You ain't got no business watching that movie. First of all, you better not be around. Let me find out Mom Vellani is sitting around here watching Chirac. I will lose my shit. But,
oh, you talking about Chirac? I thought you were talking about. I was like, Candyman.
No.
I'm like, they cloned Tyrone. I was like, she can watch. She grown. She can watch. They clone Tyrone.
But that's the one thing I will say about Iman Vellani and Miss Marvel in this movie. Like, it real deal just seemed like that girl is. She just the same way a lot of people said that Robert Downey Jr. was
Tony Stark. Yeah.
I really feel like Iman Vellani is Kamala Khan. Like that shit's really cute.
Oh yeah,
that shit is cute. It's cute.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It is fucking hilarious, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think that all in all, it is like I was like, dude, this is what it should be. Like all the characters, I felt like were who they were supposed to be. Like they're granted, this is this comes much later in the film. But once Tiana Paris is Monica Rambeau, once she like realizes how much power she can command, and you see them eyes go white, I was like, bruh. I was like, let's go. I was like, let's have it. Let's freaking have it.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, even like with Brie, when she's popping her shit off, I was like, hey, let's go. Like she got the binary mode rocking. I'm like, let's go. This is what I came for. This is what I came here to see. So yeah, there's all that. I will also say, because I guess now let's address the elephant in the room. If there's any one, I don't even think this is really like a bad thing. I don't even think it's a bad thing. But there is one specific person in the movie who I feel like is not doing as much lifting as the rest. And that is oh my God, what was his sister's name? But the young lady playing Dar-Benn. The young lady playing Dar-Benn, I feel like I feel like it's not to say that she's bad. She's not bad in the movie at all. But like, if you're sitting here asking yourself, like, oh, is she going to be the next big villain that people are going to be talking about in Marvel movies for like, the next 5-10 years? No, she is not. That said, the character that she is playing, I wasn't surprised that this was the case, because a lot of y'all probably don't even know this, but Dar-Benn in the comics, first of all, let's be real. This motherfucker only showed up in like 2 or 3 comics ever.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. I remember you saying that was a very obscure character.
Super obscure. This dude is literally nobody. I think if I want to say, I'm being generous when I say he showed up in 4 comics. But so what they did is they just kind of took a name and they ran with it. And I feel like, what'll probably wind up happening out of this? I feel like people will people at Marvel working on the comics side of things will probably happen somewhere down the road. We'll probably get a comics run where this version of the character shows up in the comics, like something close to this, and it'll probably be done like a little bit better. But I'm trying to remember the Zawe Ashton. That's her name. Yeah, Zawe Ashton. Which, by the way, she's fantastic as far as like acting. It's more like what she's given to do. Like, when I see her in the role, she's believable in that she is a villain. Like, it's not that like I think, oh man, she's not a threat. No, that's not the case at all. She's a threat. Like, she's a whole threat. The issue is more that I feel like when I feel like she is someone who is not given enough opportunity to show you why she is the way she is. I mean, it's not to say they don't tell you the why of her, like, why is she doing all this? Why is she going after? Why is why is she going after Captain Marvel? Why does she hate Captain Marvel so much? Yada 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 yada. Like, it makes sense. I just wish that she would have gotten just a little bit more time to cook a little bit. I wish she would have gotten maybe. I feel like if I found out later there were like some deleted scenes showing more of her struggling with her hatred of Captain Marvel, I feel like that would have gone a long way to help her out in this movie. But that said, getting back to the director, Nia DaCosta, she did a fantastic job working on the chemistry between Brie, Iman, and Tiana. Like, it's natural. I've actually watched some interviews with the 3 of them talking amongst each other. I can tell they kind of did something similar to what they did with TMNT, Mutant Mayhem, with the Turtles actors, where they probably just let them riff sometimes, because like you could just see it in how they talk to one another. But what I will say, Carter, what did you think about the action? What did you think about the action in this movie?
The action toward the end, just not spoiling anything, I really, really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. It was cool. This shouldn't be a fucking spoiler for you all, but they gonna get it down pat at some point in the film where they're constantly switching and shit like that. So, and plus you've seen that shit in the trailers. Yeah, that stuff, I thought that was pretty dope. That was pretty cool.
You want to know a trick about that? So I didn't know this, and I probably should have assumed this, but I love learning how the sausage is made. So watching an interview, Nia DaCosta said that apparently what they did was every time we saw them swap places, every time they did that, you were actually missing part of the film. So what they did was, if, let's say Iman Vellani is in one shot and she's doing something over here as Kamala Khan, and Tiana Paris is over here doing something as Monica Rambeau, they shot both sides of it.
Okay.
So everything that Monica Rambeau was doing before she traded places, up to everything she did after, all that was shot. But so too was everything Kamala Khan was doing, even the stuff that Monica Rambeau would have been doing. So like, if they swap places, all 3 characters performed each person's full entire actions completely filmed.
Okay.
So even if that person swapped places and wasn't in that place anymore, they still carried out that, and the other person still carried out anything they would have done too. And then they just chopped it up and cut it up, and it came out. Like, honestly, that's an editing nightmare. And the fact they were able to pull it off so effectively, I thought was really cool.
One thing I wanted to ask you real quick.
Go ahead, shoot.
Just going back to the villain real quick, because I don't want to stretch it too long. But
yeah,
do you feel like, hopefully, with you bringing up who the character is, are you hoping that this more so will kind of make Marvel kind of simmer down in a sense when it comes to offing villains so fast? Because I know a lot of people said that Darbin, because I don't know the character, but I know a lot of people were saying that you couldn't use Ronan because Ronan was already gone, so you just did this. So do you think that hopefully they will kind of learn a lesson in that? And
I hope so. Hope so. Oh, but go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, no, the other question is when we get into spoiler territory. There's something else I want to say.
Got you. Yeah.
That was the one thing a lot of people said was just like and I thought it was kind of mean because some people were just calling Darbin. Anytime they referred to her in reviewing this film, they said not Ronan.
Yeah. Well, it's messed up because you never saw Captain Marvel, but they're like Ronan is in Captain Marvel, the first one. And there's a very specific thing he says after his first encounter with her, and he's like, "We'll meet again." They'd never meet again. At least not in a movie that we've seen. Like, maybe they might do something where, like, they go back and address it, like maybe like a flashback or something. But yeah, it was like, he kind of implied that, oh yeah, we're gonna become, which, I mean, to be fair, I guess it's safe to assume that because of the events of Captain Marvel, it's safe to say she had interacted with Ronan the Accuser on more than a few occasions. But yeah, I feel like that was a missed opportunity. I feel like that was a very missed opportunity to, like, and who knows, maybe he'll come back. Who knows? Because as you know, death in comics is it's never permanent. And honestly, one can make a case that he probably didn't act. I mean, maybe he did die, but maybe we saw in what was it? Captain America: The First Avenger. It seemed like Red Skull was maybe gone. Possibly dead, and then we get to Infinity War. Guess who shows up? So you never know. You never know. So I mean, I'll give them I'll allow them their dalliances. But the last thing I'll probably say about it before we jump into spoiler territory is the effects. I thought the effects were great. I thought they did a pretty damn good job with the effects in this, which is something I'd feel like a lot of people have been criticizing Marvel for a lot as of late, is their VFX. And I mean, is everything perfect? No. There are some obvious moments where I think there was a couple of moments, and I only really noticed it when someone was flying and landed. And I don't think it was so much that it was just the CG of it. I feel like maybe there was like frames that were missing that kind of made stuff move a little weird, because that can be a thing too. It might also be because I recently watched Blade 2, and I think you know what I'm talking about. The parts where Wesley Snipes would just mysteriously, for no reason, turn into a Mortal Kombat character.
It's that shit is blatantly, egregiously obvious when he turns on those lights to fight them vampires. It is nasty.
It literally looks like Mortal Kombat.
It was nasty in the theater, because you could tell, because I saw this in theaters and you could tell how nasty that CG was. Ugh.
Oh yeah, it was bad. There's nothing that egregious, I think, in the Marvels, but there are a couple of moments where I was like, ooh. But it's like whatever. It's whatever. All in all, I think it's a solid film. It's I would say definitely, in my opinion, as someone who loved the Captain Marvel movie, saw it like 3 or 4 times in the theaters. So obviously I must have liked it a lot. I liked this a lot, and we'll probably see this a few more times before it's out of theaters as well, though. That might be harder to do because movies stay in theaters now. Less, but it's something I will definitely be watching more than once. Unlike Thor: Love and Thunder, which I think I've only seen twice. You're
a better man than most.
Well, I saw it twice because my wife wanted to watch it. She wanted to see it for herself, so I watched it with her.
Well, saw it together. Gotcha.
Yeah. I saw it by myself first, then I saw it with her afterward. And honestly, by the time we saw it together, it wasn't in theaters. It was when it was on Disney Plus. So there you go.
Oh, see, that shows you how old I am. I thought your ass was gonna say like the $2 movie or something.
Oh no,
we are old, man.
Yeah, no. Robo said something earlier about. He was like, "Man, you called that woman young lady." He said, "You called that woman young lady." He said, "You old as fuck now." Yeah, no, all true, all true. But no, I guess before we get into spoiler territory, I'm gonna pull up some super chats here real quick, and then we'll get into those. We got the homie Poe Archery Media out here with the $5. Says pass it through, showing love to my folks. Gonna catch the podcast. We appreciate you, pimp. Also, have a safe trip because I know you're traveling right now. So take care, my brother. Oh, let's see here. This is not super chat. I said someone said, "Did you see Nia DaCosta's X-Men pitch?" I saw a link to it. I didn't actually look at it. I wanted to wait. I think because I saw it before I saw the movie, so I didn't want to, even though I knew everything that was going to happen. But yeah, it's whatever. We also got the 1999 super chat, and this is 1/3 of the Nerds of Culture stream. Saying, just giving some love before I mute for the spoiler section. Hey, we appreciate you, Pim. Thank you for that. Even though you won't hear it till later. But yes. Oh, yes. Let's get into it. Okay. So let's get the obvious one out of the way because I thought this was funny. I thought it was absolutely fucking hilarious. And I love... Carter's going to hate me here for a sec, but I love this. So I kept telling people, because there was an image that was making the rounds, and I pointed it out.
Oh, okay. I did not know where you were going with this. Okay.
Yeah, there's an image that was making the rounds, and I pointed it out. And I tried to tell people, no one wanted to listen. That's not what you think it is. That's not what you think it is. Blah, blah, blah. Nope, that's not it. Now, there was a lot of bullshit talk going on. And I think I even brought this up. There was people who thought it was Storm. There was people who thought it was binary. There was people who thought it was this. They thought it was that. And honestly, based on some of the things that are said in the trailer, as well as some other things that I knew for a fact were going to be in the movie, I was not surprised by what this was at all. And I also was not surprised when it leaked and I saw what it was. But and here, I just for those who don't know what we're about to say yet, I'm gonna go ahead and do this again. I'm gonna or actually here, wait a minute, let me push
spoilers, laters, and he said, "Nah, man, that's a superior Iron Man. Shut your ass up."
Oh my God, Lord!
Spoilers, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, please, spoilers. And I just want to make sure that I don't want anyone to think, I don't want anyone to get it twisted, but. So in this movie, we get to a point where so Monica Rambeau, she ends up using her power to close what is effectively an incursion. It's not. I don't think that's actually what they call. I don't remember them calling it exactly in the movie, but basically that's what it is. It's
okay. I was not thinking about that. They said that Darbin ripped a literal hole in the space-time multiverse kind of deal. She ripped an actual hole in it when she put on both bands.
Yeah, because she gets both. She gets both of the cosmic. I almost said the Crimson Bands. She gets both.
I said it too. I'm not mad anymore.
Yeah, I almost said the Crimson Bands instead of, I mean, but how funny would that have been if that was the case? This movie would have been even more crazy if she had the Crimson Bands. But no, there's a point where she gets. So the whole point of this movie is that Dar-Benn is trying to get both of the bangles, the cosmic bands. And one of them, Ms. Marvel already had. She got it during the Disney Plus series. This, she ends up, Dar-Benn finds the other one, and then she gets the other from Ms. Marvel. And that is where all the craziness kind of, comes up. And I actually like this part. I thought it was really cool when she got both bands. However, getting back to it, there's a hole that gets ripped in the space-time continuum, and Monica is the only one who can close it. And when she goes to close it, she has to close it from the other side. She can't close it from their side. And when she does it, she gets trapped in effectively another universe. So she winds up on an alternate reality Earth, a whole other Earth in the multiverse. And we saw this image go by, and it was we saw where I don't know if I actually have the shot right now, but right after this shot right here, or this shot rather, you can kind of see Monica in the background. And when she walks by, and this is what I kept telling people why I thought I knew who it was, because when Monica looks at her, she has a look of shock on her face. Like she's seeing someone she knows she's not supposed to be seeing. And while this image, I'm not going to lie to you, is going to be a little booty because it came from a bootleg. I will fully admit that.
Had you told me I got the good camera phone, I would have took the picture. You see?
Nah, I didn't. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary. But what she realizes is she is on an alternate reality where mutants are a thing. And yes, that is Hank McCoy. He of X. Also, I want to say I appreciate the fact that they kind of had him like not all the way with the X-Force drip, but he had the pants. He had the X-Force pants on. So I was like, yep, that's problematic Hank right there. He waiting.
I was more happy that we going to use your logic. That was problematic Hank. If that's problematic Hank, I was even more happy that I heard Kelsey Grammer when he talked.
It was Kelsey Grammer's voice as Hank McCoy Beast. Yes. Yes, it is real. It has happened. The X-Men are. Hold on, wait a minute. Look, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand how serious this is. This is not a drill, y'all. This is not a drill. So to do this, I feel the only way I can do it appropriately.
Previously on X-Men.
I got to do it. Previously on X-Men, Hank McCoy is here, y'all. And honestly, I liked it. I will definitely say that I appreciated the attention to detail on of adding him in and all that entails. And yes, going back to the image, that is Maria Rambeau, Tom Cruise herself. Tom Cruise, the greatest actor in the MCU, is back. Man, he's back. He is back, and he got an all new fit. Yes, this was the bootleg image I was talking about earlier. I remember when I first saw it, a lot of people said it looked fake. It is not fake. This is an actual shot from the movie. But yes, Maria Rambeau is in the binary costume. That is fantastic. I was happy to see her there. It was also really heartbreaking that because of the fact she is a Maria from another universe, she did not give a damn about seeing her baby because she ain't got no baby in that universe. But that said, I want to get back to brass tacks here, Carter. I want to get back to this goddamn beast that is up in here chilling. So, that said, also, he name dropped Charles. He named Charles. he name dropped Charles Xavier.
Wait. Shout out to Triple Dot 31 because the song popped in my head as soon as I heard it. He said he's there with the tossed salad and scrambled eggs. Only Frasier viewers will catch that reference.
Oh my God. Stop. But no, I thought it was awesome though. I thought it was awesome. I liked it. I know some people aren't crazy about the CG. I did not honestly give two shits about it. I am perfectly fine. I am perfectly fine with the CG because honestly, here's the thing, y'all. I love practical effects as much as the next guy. Being a horror movie fan, I'm a huge fan of practical. However, I also sometimes want things to look the way I want them to look. And honestly, you can make Beast look the way he looks, but the thing is, you would have to do some fuckery anyway. To make Beast as big as he is, you need something bigger than Kelsey Grammer. I'm sorry. And I want Kelsey Grammer as the voice, so he got to be CG. Kelsey Grammer, dude, first off, Frazier ain't bulking up like that. He can't get that big. He's set. It just is what it is.
You can accept Bradley Cooper for Rocket. You can accept this for Kelsey Grammer and Beast.
100%. 100%.
Come on now.
Yeah, let's not look. And here, I'll throw you another one. If you can accept Josh Brolin as Thanos, because that ain't Josh Brolin on the. I mean, he did actually film mocap, but like it is actually his eyes, but like everything else about Thanos is 100% CG.
All right.
So
let me ask you this.
Go ahead, shoot.
Okay, because somebody had to they had to give me some clarification on this one. How do you feel about the Captain Marvel movie that you didn't get? That because when we finally see what Darwin's reasonings are for everyone's calling Captain Marvel the Annihilator and things, what have you. She went to create, she destroyed the world mind, this, that, and third. A lot of people, me included, say that would have been an enjoyable movie to watch and then go into this. Now, I don't know for sure because I was hearing different things from different people that were tagging me and shit on Twitter. And now I see why you say how fucking annoying that is.
Yep.
But was there originally was there supposed to be a Captain Marvel 2 and then this? Because okay, all right, cool. So
this
stop tagging me in that shit, because I know you all watch us live, so I'm not gonna air your name out, but stop tagging me in that corny ass shit on Twitter. Now, back to my question to you. Did it kind of, I wouldn't say irritated, but you were just like, I would have liked to have seen that.
I would have liked to have seen it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have. I think that would have been a good second movie, honestly. But I get why they didn't. And honestly,
you think it would have made Darwin hit harder? Had you seen that, know where it came from? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Because then you would have had more time to spend with the character, and you could have a okay. Here's what, if it were for me, I'm not saying that it has to be done this way, but like if they did like a little Marvel one shot that was like this, what we're talking about, I don't think it requires a whole movie, but I would like to see a Marvel one shot, like a little 45 minute little thing, and it's just kind of goes back to that, because I think that's where those Marvel one shots would be really effective, like actually putting them in a place where you can be like, oh, this gives context to something cool. I still think it would suck that it's not in an actual movie, like where the movie I'm watching, but still, it would make more sense if it was like, oh, okay, well, this is a thing that's over here. It's not like I didn't already have to watch Ms. Marvel to kind of have an idea what's going on, or WandaVision to have an idea what's going on, or the previous Captain Marvel movie to know what's going on. So, I mean, yeah, it would make sense. What does this mean for the MCU going forward, though? Like all this stuff, I know a lot of people are curious. I mean, the X-Men are finally here. And in about roughly the same time that I think was prophesized. When Kevin Feige initially put out the word that mutants were coming to the MCU, it became very apparent that it wasn't going to happen right away, that it was going to be a few years. And honestly, we're kind of creeping up on those few years. So, yeah, I'm not surprised by any of this. I was actually more, I think it was, what it was? I was more surprised at the inclusion of who was in the post-credits scene as far as X-Men go, rather than I was the fact that it happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of people, because like that first image I showed, there were a lot of people who thought that this was Storm. There's a lot of people who thought that was Storm. And it was kind of funny to me, because like I could see the reasons why some people thought that. I was like, okay, you see someone wearing a white costume with a cloak, which actually turned out to not be a cloak. It was a fucking blanket. It was just the fucking blanket that she was wearing because it was cold down in the basement of the X mansion. But no, And it was, yeah, I could tell that the parts that, like in here, like outside the white, I could tell that wasn't like brown skin or black skin. I could tell that was red. So I wasn't surprised when like it was binary. I was like, yeah, it's probably binary. And because we've already seen Multiverse of Madness, where Lashana Lynch, who plays Maria Rambeau, showed up as the Captain Marvel of that universe, it makes sense that she would show up as the binary of this one. So I was like, yeah, it's cool. It's whatever. I was like, we're off to the races. Let's yeah, that's fine. But I still feel that there was this set of people that wanted it to be Storm, and because it wasn't Storm, that just probably made them even more angry. Which is just, it's weird. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Nerds are fucking weird. And I say this as a nerd, though. As a Blerd, even more specifically. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't have it in me to be angry about something that was like, I don't have it in me to be angry about never getting something that was never on the table to begin with.
That's what I think. Yeah. That's what I think the problem is with a lot of comic book fans, for sure, is you have this idea in your head. Case in point.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people that are in the chat right now that are talking about Rogue. And I've seen it several times. Mm-hmm. Because I think I just saw someone that said they wanted Rogue in the next Captain Marvel movie. Now, this person might not do it, but let's say this next Captain Marvel movie comes out and Rogue is nowhere to be found, and now you're dunking on that movie because Rogue wasn't in it. That was some shit you made up in your own fucking head. Stop getting mad when your headcanon shit is not in there when, again, like he just said, it was never said to be in there to begin with. That's just what you wanted. You can't be mad at some shit that nobody ever said. Like, what?
Yeah, no, you
and
can't.
So many people, like, they still have that in their our age. 30s, 40s, huh?
50s.
What? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, huh?
Oh,
that is the most confusing shit to me.
Oh, no.
And I'm not talking
100%.
about anybody specifically in the chat. I'm just using that as an example because I have seen that too many times. That's why comic Twitter makes me sick.
Yeah, it's like, and here's the thing. So, like, this is just an aside. I don't even mean to spend that much time on this, but like the other day, someone got mad at my take on this movie. And because my take was different from their take, they proceeded to call me all kinds of slurs. I think I believe at some point, not only was my intelligence insulted, I got called the R word and all this other stuff. And then the person then turned around and then tried to say, so I think the thing they took umbrage with is that I said all the folks complaining about this movie are likely incels. And because I guess what I said hit him close to home, because, I always say hit dog or holler. Because it's kind of like one of those deals. Like, when people say, well, all men are shit, all women are shit, or all, white people are shit, all black people are shit. But then, like, somebody's like, well, hold on, I'm right here. And I'm not shit. It's one of those things where it's like, kind of like with my wife. When I talk shit about racist white people, my wife isn't so sensitive that she thinks I'm talking about her. She knows I'm not talking about her. That's kind of how this is. If you think I'm talking about you, then that's on you, not me. Because I never called him that. He assumed I was calling that. It was some dude I didn't even follow. Yeah. Like they followed, they didn't follow me.
Said all. So all encompasses
him.
Everybody.
Yeah. So he assumed I was talking about him. And then after trying to insult me, and like talking, like and literally going like well above and beyond the Call of Duty to try and like get a rise out of me, then said, well, also I'm not an incel because I'm a black comic creator or some shit along those lines. And I make comics that are inclusive and actually have people of color in them. And I looked at him and was just like, and because I think what happened was he realized who I was. Like, because I think it was one of the things, I think he just responded not realizing who he was talking to. And I think he realized who I was or that I had a platform. And he kept talking about his comic. And I was like, I said, did you just talk shit about me to turn around thinking that this would galvanize me into bringing you on my show to talk about your comic? Because I said, that's not how this works. I was like, I know that's how it works for that side of things. Like, you know, your Rippas, your Colin Moriartys, your Dave Rubens and so forth, that if you have an argument on Twitter, that is how they set up inviting you onto their program so that they can like monetize your argument with them. I was like, that's not how I operate. If I don't like you, if you're being disingenuous and insulting to me, I'm not going to bring you on my show because I'm not going to want to talk to you. Like, even if it is to dunk on you, I'm not going to bring you on to talk to you. But like, yeah, that's why I largely, when I post stuff on Twitter about any of this shit, I post it and I walk away. I'm like Ice-T. I'll post some shit and go enjoy the rest of my day.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to ask you a question, but I'm also trying to be nosy. So I hopped on Twitter to see who you were talking about. I'm just trying to be nosy again. But so when you say like all the people that didn't like this film are incels, this, that, and third.
Yeah.
Would it be fair?
Mm-hmm.
Let me put the phone down. I'm really trying to actively find out who you talking about. So I can
you
see
won't
who
find
this person
you
is.
won't find it because they
God
didn't. You won't find it because it wasn't a reply. They quote tweeted me.
God, yeah, I'm not looking at all of them. Okay,
they quote tweeted me talking shit, and I responded to it. Like, and I wasn't even being a dick. I was just like, whatever, dude.
Yeah. So I think you know full well what will happen when you say all. So let me ask you: would you say that it was? Would it be fair in saying that?
Are you trying to devil's advocate for this guy? Are you trying to both sides?
No.
He's about to both sides.
No. To the people that see, I'm reading. Okay, y'all
go ahead, speak.
No, people bringing up Ripper now, so it's gonna stop.
I mean, dude, he created Black Elsa Bloodstone. He created Black. What was the name? Something Black Blood. You can't hate Carter. You can't create on that. You can't hate on the creator of the most fire ass version of Elsa Bloodstone we've ever seen.
I don't even want to ask the question anymore because I just want you all to know, like, and I know this is gonna get back to the proper channels and people are gonna have some shit to say. But Ernie and I laughed off that shit for like a solid 20 minutes.
Oh yeah. Oh no, 100%. 100%. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I completely forgot about that.
It was to the point I couldn't even keep up with the bitch name. Because I think Carter eventually shut me down and was like, oh, I found her. I didn't found it, Carter. I didn't found it. I went back and looked for it. I went back and looked. Dude, I'm going to tell you how funny I thought it was. I done went back and scrolled through like weeks worth of conversations.
I completely forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Here it is. Sydney Blood Truth. Man, if you don't get your Kmart ass Elsa Bloodstone the fuck up out my face, bruh.
I'm going to say this.
Hey, wait a minute. There's a werewolf behind her. So who is that? Is that the werewolf by Black? Is that the werewolf by Hood?
Dog, I'm going to keep it straight up. Even if you are a fan of his and you watching that and you're watching this and you're a fan of his, you still gotta laugh off Sydney Bloodruth and Elsa Bloodstone, bro. You gotta laugh.
Oh my god! It is. Oh my god!
I have said it so many times.
So how you gonna hate from outside the club? Hey, because it's a club I don't want to be in.
Y'all cannot take yourself so serious, bro. Like I'll say it again. If you're a fan of him and you a fan of us, that's wild that you can juggle it like that. But you gotta laugh.
Oh wait, you broke up. Your mic just shut off.
I know what I got.
Oh, you hit the cable. Okay. Yeah.
You gotta laugh. Bro.
Wear black by day. Y'all
he said the word nigga by night.
I'm done with y'all. I'm done with y'all. Stop. No. We done. Look, I'm out of here. I don't want to know more. No. Because now that's all I'm gonna see. That's all I'm gonna see now.
You gotta laugh. Come on, y'all gotta find a sense of humor there. You gotta laugh, bro.
I mean, like, and here I want to be honest with you, and this is something I believe an actual comic creator told him on Twitter, is that, you know, when you make something, it's always going to be based off something in the back of your head. And I would be a liar if I said the comic I'm working on isn't like all the things I create are based on things that inspire me. Like, I think I even said so myself when talking about my own comic, where I was like, yeah, my main character is kind of like a mixture of things that were really in my head at the time. Like, so John Constantine and Luther and fucking Mayor Kingstown and shit like that. So I said, yeah, so it would be fair. But this motherfucker said BBL Bloodstone. All right, nah, Anyway, the point of the matter is, I'm saying I'm not even knocking him for copying another character. I'm just knocking him for making it so fucking obvious. Like, it's obvious. It is fucking obvious. Like, there's no way that you look at that character, unless you just don't know who the fuck Elsa Bloodstone is. There's no way that you look at this character and don't think, yeah, that's very likely meant to be like a black version of Elsa Bloodstone. I'm just yeah.
I don't like what this spoiler talk turned into.
Exactly. You know what? I want to talk about the last spoiler. This is something we can talk about real quick, and then we can just move the fuck on. The last one, and I wasn't gonna get at it without talking about it, is this one technically wasn't a post-credit stinger. It technically was supposed to be, but they put it like right before the credits, so it's not really a stinger. But Ms. Marvel basically does the Iron Man 1. Like, but she does it in a Ms. Marvel way, so like she's awkward and doesn't really do a good job of it, but that's on purpose. But I love the fact that she went to Kate Bishop's place, her secret headquarters, and basically hit her up to join, which they never said the name. And honestly, I don't know if they ever will. But basically trying to get her to start up the Young Avengers. Which, to be fair, a lot of the Young Avengers are already in the MCU. The only ones we haven't seen yet are like Hulkling. And we'll probably see Hulkling pretty soon. But I thought that was really cool. I thought it was really cool. It was a nice touch. It was, I don't like, I'm kind of on the fence as to what they're going to like. I have a feeling they'll just call it Young Avengers, so that can be like one of their next Avengers, like actual Avengers titled movies. I don't know, because of the inclusion of Ms. Marvel, if they might lean in the direction of the Champions instead. But Young Avengers is a safe bet, because that's basically what this is all in aid of. Or if they do Young Avengers, they'll probably make some reference like, oh, what if we call ourselves, kind of like what they did with Monica Rambeau. Oh, well, what if we call you Pulsar or Photon or Proton or Spectrum or this, that, or Dr. Light or, you know, some bullshit. Like, they'll probably do some bullshit like that where Champions will slip out somewhere or whatever. But I didn't know.
I didn't know this scene existed.
Yeah.
You kept sending me messages. So you asked when I was going to see it. We didn't go see it at the same time. So you were letting me know after this credit scene, you can go ahead and dip. The stuff with Kamala, it happens before the end credits.
Right.
I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So when it happened, it was a total surprise to me. And again, this is not me trying to dunk on the movie or anything like that, but the movie, for the most part, you got some chuckles out of people here and there in my theater, like a hee ha ha a little bit. But for the most part, everybody was a little bit more respectful, since it was 10:30 in the morning when I went and saw this shit.
I was about to say my theater was loud.
Okay, so
they were hollering.
when you see somebody walk up to a door and you can't tell who the figure is, and then you kind of see a bow.
Mm-hmm.
There were like 6 women that were sitting like maybe 2 seats away from me, and immediately perked up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pizza Dog showed up, and they freaked the fuck out. And then you see Kate Bishop, and they really freaked the fuck out. So that was surprising to me. That's kind of dope. I love the fact that Kamala tried to say, "You think you're the only kid superhero out of here?" And Kate immediately checked her and was like, "I'm 23." In the most respectful, bitch, I can go get drunk.
Right?
I can go get a drink. You are still Capri Sun. I am still ENJ.
Right? I thought that was dope. I like the name. I also like the how they alluded to Cassie Lang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that until somebody else told me, because I didn't know who Kamala was talking about.
Yeah, she was like, yo, Ant-Man. She's like, I hear Ant-Man has a daughter now, or some shit like that. And that means too, we'll probably see Patriot pop back up again, because he was already in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Hanging out with his grandpappy. And yeah, I mean, I'm here for it. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait to see that. I am excited for. I'm legitimately as a big fan. Nice. Yeah, as a big fan of the Young Avengers, I was 100% in, especially with everything going on with Kang now too. Yeah, I want to see Iron Lad. I want to see what Iron Lad looks like in the MCU. But that's it. That's pretty much it. That's really all I really wanted to talk about. Everything else that was spoiler-ish is not anything that I'm just like, oh yeah, I just got to say something.
Okay.
Unless you got anything else to add.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think we done did it.
We done did it. We have done it. Well, you know what else we got to do? We gotta get these super chats here. We got Sidious Black out here. Says, I know you already know this, but you guys are the best, and this is the best show on YouTube. Man, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. That see. Damn. We also got the Elite X1 out here with the $2 super chat. Says, Rippa out here on that early Image live fill copies. So I also know what Elite X was talking about. Like, y'all may or may not remember this, but like back in the 90s era of Image Comics, there were so many characters that you could clearly tell who they were supposed to be. Like, if you ever read the Wildcats, you knew who Warblade was supposed to be. You knew that, this y'all Wolverine. When you saw a Grifter, you're like, oh, this y'all Gambit. When you saw Zella, you're like, oh, that's y'all Psylocke. when you saw Void, it's like, okay, that's y'all Gene, huh? Okay, all right. Spartan, oh, that's y'all Cyclops, huh? Well, look, Youngblood, you're like, oh, Youngblood, Shaft. Oh, he's supposed to be Hawkeye and Captain America. Y'all nasty. Sentinel, that looked like, or no, what was he? No, Die Hard. It was like, oh, Die Hard, that's like your Vision and your Iron Man, Lord. So yeah, that's basically what it is. It's cool. I mean, it's a silly way to make comic book characters, but I mean, I rock with it. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, Lee put in the chat: Blood Wolf, Lobo, Shaft, Hawkeye, Chapel, Punisher. That's all. Dude, first off, they say, hey. Oh, so see, what I did is, instead of putting the skull on his chest, I put it on his face. And he black. See? They ain't the same. I don't know why suddenly he became, hood for a moment. But anyway.
I think that was the last super chat, actually.
Yeah, that was yeah. We can go ahead. Let's jump into go ahead and give us you already kind of gave us a tease of your recommended. Go ahead and hook us up.
I'm actually gonna change my recommended just because that book might be a little bit hard and won't be as readily available to get, because I think one of them is out of print, one of those trades.
Oh.
So my Yeah, apparently the one it's the first one. The Journey into Mystery one apparently is hard to get now. There was only one copy in the shop when I got mine. The second volume with the rest of Gillen's run, Everything Burns. Apparently, that is the easier one to get than the Loki one, or the Journey into Mystery one. Excuse me.
Really?
Yeah. Damn. Apparently that first one. So like, I'll let you know if I'm back over there if they have the Loki one. But back to our recommended, ladies and gentlemen, my recommended this week is actually going to be something that I'm going to be doing later today. I'm going to actually try to combine two things into one because Ernie always likes to ask me what I'm doing later on today. My recommended this week is going to be Scott Pilgrim.
Ooh.
Scott Pilgrim, if you all know, the new Netflix series is going to be starting soon. And I am very, 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 very excited to see this with the cast from the film all reprising their roles.
Yes, sir.
And later today, I'm going to be going to a comic shop that is going to have Edgar Wright, Brian Lee O'Malley, and Anna Monoguchi there for photos and pictures and autographs and shenanigans. And it's a launch thing it's a launch event for the Netflix series. So yeah, man, I think a lot of people may have forgotten that the Scott Pilgrim thing is going to be coming because, you know, we got the Marvels and everybody's going crazy over the Loki finale right now. So this might have been in the back of your head. You may have completely forgotten about it. But yeah, man.
We got another week or two? Is another week or two before it drops?
So I've heard two different things. One, it was supposed to drop yesterday, and apparently it's supposed to drop today. I know that they're doing a launch event at this comic shop I'm going to, but they did a thing in Hollywood for the first, like, maybe 2 episodes or something yesterday.
Got you.
So okay. I don't know. It could be different times for us because, you know, the times on fucking thing. I don't know.
100%. 100%.
Let's do something fun this week. Let's do some video game evil ex-boyfriend shenanigans. I'm recommending Scott Pilgrim. Ernie, what you recommending this week?
Because of how much I enjoyed this week's issue of Transformers. I went back and read some of the IDW stuff not too terribly long ago, getting ready for it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring up the Transformers IDW, some of the early stuff where they delved into Megatron's origin. It's actually in the first trade of the Transformers IDW collection. Yeah. This is a case study on how you can have the Decepticons be the villains, but also be kind of relatable. There is a lot, when I say a lot, there is a lot of political, social, economic commentary in this. Showing how all the Transformers who ultimately would become the Decepticons were being kicked around, being downtrodden upon in a roundabout way. A lot of the things that have been going on lately, IRL stuff like, you know, SAG-AFTRA, the UAW stuff, the WGA stuff, all the unionization you've been seeing going on in a roundabout way is what the Transformers were trying to do back in the IDW stuff when they were trying to get equal rights and workers' rights and stuff like that. And like, you know, the prime of the time was basically just kind of like shitting on them. Like, it kind of made you kind of rethink what you know, leadership on both sides was like, and you basically see Megatron building up the Decepticons from the ground up. Like when we're first introduced to the Decepticons, they are literally just doing like mining, construction, excavating. They're basically like slaving away, and they're just not treated well. And they're basically being used. And I like how you see the reasonings behind why Megatron does not like them. Like, why, like it kind of goes from, oh, we're fighting to rise up and make change, and then it kind of becomes something else. Like, as Megatron is more and more and more realizing what's at stake and what he's fighting against, and you see him become the Megatron or something closer to the Megatron that you're familiar with, where he's almost more of a villain.
Was this multiple issues or was this a one shot?
Oh no, it was it was a lot of issues. It was a lot of issues.
Okay.
Oh man, I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but I want to say it was like 5 or 6 issues, like maybe even 7 or 8. But that first, also in that same IDW collection, which I'm trying to see if I can actually find here. I'm actually going to. Let me do this real quick because I actually want to show you all this because it actually looks really fucking awesome.
Okay.
But Transformers, doing a Google image search real quick. I love the IDW collections because when you see them, like when you get a look at them, they always have like one of the Transformers. Like kind of, you know how, okay, so you know how this is the best example. Like these. So you know how like these are, where like each one has a different character? They do the exact same thing in the exact same format.
Gotcha.
As that. If that, you know, this is basically the only way I can kind of frame it.
Okay.
But like right here, here's one right here. This is actually the one I'm talking about. This is phase 1. Transformers IDW collection phase 1. And you see like it's got like the busted up looking like Megatron with the battle scars and stuff. Which I thought was pretty cool. But this is actually the one in question, the actual cover of it. But yeah, I highly recommend it. It also has some other stories in there too. There's one involving Blur that is really cool. Y'all remember Blerd was the really fast one that talked really quick and was voiced by the Micro Machines guy back in the day. But there's one where like he's a hero on Cybertron, but like he's not like a warrior. He's a racer. That's what he does. But he's a celebrity. And how he winds up falling, it actually shows you the origin of how he ends up joining the Autobots. And it's one of those things like, when you look at him, it's like, oh, damn, I thought Blur was nice. And it's like, no, he was an asshole before. He grew to be a better person. You know, like, because he slick almost joins the Decepticons. And, like, that's where you get into, like, the one-shots. Like, I think the stuff with Megatron early on is, like, one solid story. They give you a bunch of one-shots with Cliff Jumper, Ironhide, Blur, so on and so forth, showing, like, you know, just kind of little things. Shockwave and other characters. And then you get into another one where it's like, okay, the Autobots and Decepticons are on Earth, and you go from there. But yeah, it's all really cool stuff. I highly recommend it. Let's move on to we're going to run through these stupid fast because I've looked at the time. So, Qdoma, I'm literally just going to be kind of lightning rounding this shit. Qdoma says, hello, Blerd. Hope you're having a great day. My question of the day is, if the character death in Marvel has stopped doing its function to become human. I see. If the character death in Marvel has stopped doing its function to become human, then who took their place as the new death? I have no idea. I think they're talking about, that's what's going on with the Christopher Cantwell. Is that the Christopher Cantwell Thanos thing that's going on right now? I didn't read it, so I have no idea. But I would assume if Death stopped performing their function, it would very likely be because of, or not be because, but someone would have to fill that void at some point. Trap God Thanos says, good afternoon, brothers. Because of the success of the games and movies, I'm seeing more Milestone fans complaining about Miles Morales, saying that he took Static's spot, in quotations. Says, that got me thinking, do you think whenever we see Static in games or movies again, his impact as Black Spider-Man won't be as large because we already have a literal Black Spider-Man in Miles? It all sounds like putting two black characters against each other to me, but what do I know? Except you better get those goddamn likes up. Well, but no, and I agree with this wholeheartedly. I have said this before. I remember people used to call me crazy for saying the Static was Milestone's, like, you know, cracking the Spider-Man formula. And that's what it is. It is. And even Brian Michael Bendis has never actively come out and said this, but I can tell that he took a lot of inspiration from Static when he made Miles Morales. But yeah, I do feel like it's gonna be like, remember Halo when Halo came out, and like, oh, Halo's a thing, and then people tried to make like Aliens video games, Predator video games, and people were like, oh, I liked it better when it was Halo. But Halo borrows from both. It borrows from both Predator and Aliens. But because those people probably didn't grow up with that, they think that these other things are copying the thing that was copying the thing originally. It's one of those deals. And yeah, I 100% agree on that. I don't know if you have an opinion on that, Carter, but yes.
I hate when you correct those people and they're like, oh, whatever. And then they still have that same thinking regardless. I hate those people.
Nah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. LJ Brown says, based on a question last week, what TV series, movie, or animation would you like to be adapted to a game that hasn't been already? And if so, what game developer for it? So I'll go ahead and say right now, just based on some stuff that's been happening lately, and I'll keep it Transformer-centric. I wish we got more of those Transformers, like War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron games. Because I thought they were fantastic. Those games were fucking fire.
I don't know how they haven't come out with a new one with these films, especially I'm hoping with the new Daniel Warren Johnson stuff, they try to do it.
Dude, they better. They fucking do. Oh, they're so good.
Those were so praised. So praised.
Oh, yeah. But no, I would just honestly I don't think is the studio still even around anymore that made those games? Didn't they get folded?
I think B-Nox got folded into somebody else.
Well, if they could get the team or someone close to it on it, I would be 100% in. I'd be 100% down for it.
They weren't even long, so you could do it a quick 4-hour bow.
Dude, yeah, they were easy, stupid easy. Like, but they were still just good. Man, you know what? I think I have them on Steam.
I didn't know they were on Steam.
I think they might. I think War for Cybertron was. I don't know about Fall.
Okay,
but I'm almost positive War for Cybertron was. I'm gonna look that up, and because I kind of want to play those like now. Like I miss those games a lot. I'm actively looking right now to see if they.
All right, while you doing that, I'm gonna read this
ahead.
one from Urban Princess Strong style. Good afternoon, Blerd Carter. On this glorious Saturday, question of the day is we actually getting the animated series X-Men and Deadpool 3 and Secret Wars instead of the Fox X-Men. I think he's asking, are we getting the animated series X-Men and Deadpool 3 and Secret Wars instead of the Fox What?
No, we're getting the Fox X-Men in Deadpool 3. That is, I don't.
Stop asking confusing ass questions, people.
I'm lost in sauce. But yeah, you're getting the Wolverine that you're getting in Deadpool 3 is, I think it's pretty obvious. It's they've said it's the Wolverine from the Fox movies.
Logan and everything else. Yeah. All right, last question from Big Boy 71. Good afternoon, Ernie Carter and all my fellow Blerd Coens. What are your thoughts on Henry Cavill being cast as the Highlander, and how would y'all fill out the rest of the cast? Me, I'm cool with it. Yeah. I can only remember Christopher Lambert and Sean Connery, so I don't know how I would fill out the rest of a Highlander cast.
Man, Clancy Brown is the Kurgan. Ooh, it's better to burn out than to fade away.
That'd be funny. But yeah, Henry Cavill as a Highlander, that'll keep me content until Warhammer drop. Yeah,
give me Winston Duke. I want Winston Duke in it. Because Winston Duke is such a big dude. Y'all know what I'm talking about M'Baku. He's such a big dude. I would love to see him in a Highlander movie opposite Cavill. That dude would kill it. That dude would kill it. Oh my God, he would kill it. Also, they said, Trap Goddamn says here, get the goddamn likes up, y'all. Anyway. But yeah, I like it. I'm down for Cavill. I'm 100% in. Let's get into our questions from the chat. We're going to try and be quick with these two because we are not going to go over 3 hours, I promise you. Matter of fact, I see some here. We are going to let's hit these super chats real quick first. I think we got one in here at the very least from the homie Gillis Mo with the me 1999 super chat says, yes, you saw it. Posting correction down. Big fan of the IDW series and releases. Wish that team worked on the films. Thanks, Carter Presents, for keeping me honest. There you go.
He asked the question previously and there was a spelling error in it and then he deleted it, but I saw it.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. Don't worry about that. Okay, I'm rolling it back because I'm pulling up our questions now. I got one here from Marvel Enthusiast. It says, question, have you guys seen the Little Mermaid 2023 movie? If you guys have seen it, can you tell me when sequels/prequels coming for release, like the Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea, for example? Okay, so I have seen the 2023 movie, the one with Halle Bailey. It was fine. I mean, it was cool. I was actually more interested in how my daughter perceived it. Seeing Ariel be a black person. My daughter really gravitated towards that. My daughter's getting to that point where, like, she's starting to pay attention to when things look like her. Like, case in point, the blackening. She loves the blackening. And the biracial woman on the blackening, I forget her name, but she has really gravitated to that character because she's like, oh, she's like me. And yeah, so there's that. So there's that thing. But if they're gonna start doing the sequels and prequels, I don't know if they're gonna do any of them directly.
Yeah.
They'll probably just kind of do their own thing. Bird Nerd says, opinion on Storm's decision on Red. I gotta hear your X opinions. So I talked about it a little bit in the video. I didn't really go into the reasons behind why, but I will say I'm perfectly fine with what Storm did as far as destroying the Uranus trigger, if that's what you're talking about. The Uranus trigger, that whole deal, that's not Storm. Storm's not going to do that. Storm is not a murderer. And even if she would be, she wouldn't unleash something like Uranus. I honestly don't think Uranus was ever effectively on the table. It was just a very interesting choice to put in front of Storm, just so we could see and be reaffirmed that Storm hasn't gone so far as to want to unleash a genocidal, mass murdering psychopath on her enemies. And if she knowing full well that that's the type of power she's going to have to unleash to defeat Genesis, she would rather do it herself. And that just, once again, it reaffirms that Storm is exactly who we've always believed she was. So there you go. Jerome says, question, will Apocalypse and Storm's use of magic pay dividends in their impending war against Genesis and our Horde? I was unaware that Apocalypse has the ability to harness and practice magic. Yes, this is actually something that, sadly, if you did not read Teenie Howard's Excalibur series, that's actually where all that stuff came up. From the very first issue, Apocalypse was already showing that he had knowledge in magic and sorcery, and that's also how you may remember the external gate that showed up during Ten of Swords.
Yeah.
That's how he did it. He did it with magic. He actually used the bones of the externals minus Selene and using magic and Richter, because Richter has become skilled in magic as well. That's how they created the external gate. So yeah, if you want to know more about that, go over to Teenie Howard's Excalibur. It's not my favorite series, but that's where you're going to get that information.
All right.
Next one we got. I'm just going straight. What's up?
Okay, I see the one from JD saying, question, always looking for great games for my son to play. Are any of these Transformers games you reference on PS5 or Xbox? PS5, no. Xbox, yes. Because I'm fairly certain you can play 360 games on the new Xbox systems, and both of those games are Xbox 360 games. So
yes, that is true. You might be able to, like, I don't know if they ever released them digitally on PlayStation 4, but yeah, it's Xbox is probably going to be your best bet. And then this, here we go. This will be the last one. This is Prince Barry, Prince Eric 2.0. And it says, question, should Marvel do animated movies instead of live action like the MCU? Because DC got many animated movies, both for kids and adults, and direct to video from beginning in the 90s. I think Marvel should do it as a supplemental thing. I don't think it should be anything that should replace the MCU. Like, they could do something like the DCAU, which was some of the more recent stuff, but that got rebooted, and now DC's animated stuff is kind of hit or miss, and more miss than hit.
And I will also say that Marvel tried to do the animated thing versus DC at one point, and all the animated movies kind of were stinkers.
Yeah, I didn't hate all of them, but they weren't all. Your mileage varied a lot. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. I can't in good faith recommend any of them. Like I think the first Ultimate Marvel one was kind of okay. The second one with Black Panther was okay as well, but honestly, outside of those, I wasn't terribly crazy about any of them. Other than that, that's it. That is the show. Once again, I'm gonna put this out here real quick because I do actually have to run. It's not even just the 3-hour thing, but don't forget it's pinned at the top. I'm actually heading there right now to go to the 12-hour live stream at Nerd 901. If you go to twitch.tv/Nerd 901, you'll be able to find the stream there. Also, if you go to the link that's pinned at the top, there should be, I believe, a link somewhere in there to the stream itself. I know they are live at this precise moment. That said, Carter, do you have anything that you want to say very quickly?
No.
Okay. So that said, for Carter Presents, I'm the Blerd Without Fear. Thank you, everyone, so much. The chatters, the lurkers, the super chatters, channel members, patrons, everyone, Earth's mightiest subscribers, Earth's mightiest listeners, everyone in Blerd Co. in the Discord. Thank you all so much. And we will see you all next time. And also, by the way, if you haven't hit that damn like button, you can go to hell.